Blast ahoy and g'day once again to ye mateys! I be your arguably handsome and tolerably good-looking DM Josh the Pirate, if that's what you're into, and it brings me more anticipation than being obliged to sit next to the oven while Karen is making cookies to welcome you back to Goss's Cove, and another episode in my Humblewood world for more of Monsters and Magic. With me, I have me hearty crew, the alluring Darius surname redacted, the glamorous Karen Schlink, and the engaging Brendan Ellis. So let's talk about these lovely individuals, shall we? Hey Spina, hey Mooncloud, good to see you. Spina, it's been a hot minute. How you been, buddy? Brendan, who the absolute heck are you?
I am heckin' Brendan Ellis, and for the last week I've been doing basically nothing except for playing the new Zelda game. It's good.
Can confirm.
A ringing endorsement there, Brendan.
It's good! Excellent. Karen, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Karen, otherwise known as the Mother of Bunnies. I'm a performer and writer. You can follow me on Twitter, where I get mad about things and share bunny pictures. Or you can listen to my dulcet tones on the D&D podcast, There Be Dragons. Found where all good podcasts can be found, and probably where some terrible ones can as well. But, you know, everyone deserves it to try.
Exactly. Daria, who the heck are you?
I'm Daria. I'm an artist. I've been doing art a lot, and you can see it on the channel here. I also have a cat. This is a cat, but
Hey Lilith.
it's good.
The cat butt, also good.
How would you
The
rate
cat-
the
I like-
cat butt out of 10?
Stinky out of 10.
I don't rate cat butts.
They rate me. Nah, that doesn't
I
work
like
right.
that she knew exactly when the stream was starting,
Yeah,
because
she's
she
like-
hadn't been standing with the
That-
tail up
Yeah,
until we started.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's like, oh, you're starting nice. It's my time to shine.
Apparently the
This is
best
her
way to stop
audition.
your cat doing it is to get them a small computer as well. Because what the reason they do it is because they're mirroring you. So if you get
Yeah,
them a
they
tiny
see it.
laptop, they just sit by it themselves.
The problem is also she also wants pets all the time. Like,
Yeah,
like this is her. This is her.
that's fine, right? That doesn't get in the way ever.
Not at all.
And Mesdames et Messieurs, Dame unter Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG things. On Monday nights, Karen and I review new gaming systems normally for solo players, and this one, next week, we've got a doozy. We are going to review Galatea. Or Galatea. I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced. But to play it, we needed a Jenga deck, so we had to go find one. Karen fortunately managed to find one in a Good Sammy's recently, and a tarot deck as well. Like, it's a very specific requirements for this game, but I'm curious to try. You can also find me all over the Twitch space at the moment. Tomorrow evening, I will be over on the Law Rights channel for some more Shadows over Morna, and tomorrow morning, I will be playing in Jasper's Game Week over on Meeples and Dragons. They are currently at a little over $5,000 already raised, and we are aiming for 10. And we've got some very fun donation goals in there, donations that you can pop in. I'm adding one to the pot. I reckon $50, and something is a mimic. I think that one of them could be quite fun. You can also, of course, buy Wild Magic Surges and Deck of Many or Harrowing Deck draws for the players, or advantages, disadvantages, and anything like that. So please come on over, bring your wallets, check it out. It's going to be super fun. Karen, can you please tell me about the Ukraine?
I can, Josh. The Ukraine. You've probably heard about it over the last year. It's got a little bit of a Russian infestation. If you would like to support those Ukrainians who decided to get the hell out of there, you can donate to the Emergency Action Appeal, which has not popped up in chat for some reason. I believe you
'cause I spelled
misspelled
it as
Ukraine as
Ukraine.
Ukraine, which is the fantasy alternative dimension version of Ukraine. The first link is to the Emergency Action Appeal. That's an Australian-based group of not-for-profits and charities raising money specifically for Ukrainian refugees. Or you can purchase the Cure as a Compendium of Psychic Myth via the second link. And you can get yourself a little 38-page D&D booklet that's inspired by the mythology and geography of Ukraine. The minimum donation is £1, and that goes to the British Red Cross Appeal for Ukraine.
Splendid. Thank you very much. Well, I must also remind our beautiful, enticing, and possibly even charming audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We have the YouTube, which is flourishing as always, and full of content you may have missed. And we have a Discord, if you want to come and hang out with us there. And check out the kitty cat pictures. You can see all the cat butts you like in the cat photos. And we're getting tons of awesome artwork by Cat Darkness actually at the moment in the arts section. I'm loving them coming up. That's always cool to see. I think at this point it might behoove us, because we were off last week and we apologise for that. Karen and I were both a bit crook. So it might be a good idea to have a bit of a recap. So what the absolute heck happened last time?
Well, last time we finally got out of Alderheart and made our way, teleported even, to, don't tell me, Brackenmill. This is the birthplace of our boy Ereq, and the place where his clan, or his ex-family, I guess, Shadowbolts, have their manor and, kind of rule the town. And the reasons we go there, well, first of all, Ereq wants to, discuss his tragic backstory there, and also Iari Shadowbolt, who's his grandma, she is probably gonna be the next person on the council, and we need to sniff that out and see what's up, what her intentions are. Do we need to do some grand homicide? I forgot what the word was we discussed.
Grand matricide.
Matricide.
Yeah. So we got there and strange things happened. For example, Mark was like, hey, long time no see. I told you that I would leave this town, but psych, got him. Also come by my shop because I'm now officially a smith. And also we went to the bar, the local bar where Ereq's best friend works, and Ereq's best friend told us, that a lot of people actually wanted to leave, but none of them did. Surprisingly, all of them reconsidered suddenly and stayed. Very sus. And also, they don't get any news from the outside world, which is strange because the city is not closed. It's just, it's how it is sometimes. And when we come to Mark is like, so look, I was trying to leave you. Bunny was awesome for me. But then Iari Shadowbolt was like, maybe don't. And her magic teleporting man also said, maybe don't or I kill you. And so with money and also with intimidation tactics, they made Mark reconsider. And his family is like, yeah, this is cool, I guess. We have our own smithy now. But it's kind of sort of awkward because they did try to tell us if we leave, they kill our kids. So maybe help us, Kesh Glitterweave. We kind of want to bounce. And Kesh was like, I got you. If we go, then you go. We also know that the local sheriff assistant tried to leave and reconsidered, and there was a lot of change in the local chain of command. All birds, all crow people started to really run the shit. So Ereq is like, ooh, those damn crows. We kind of awkwardly side-eyed him because he's a crow as well, but whatever. And we got to the manor. And in the manor, Ereq is like, well, you guys hang out in my teenage room. It stinks of old socks, but I guess we're hanging out. And he went to see his mom, who is very sick. But the doctor said that she's on the mend, right? That's what he said, right?
Yeah, long road ahead, but yeah.
Yeah, long road ahead, and also her husband is there, and it's a mail order husband as far as I understand. He was genetically modified to be her husband, GMO type husband, and So they were there and they left, and Ereq is just standing there looking at his dying mom, doesn't want to talk to her. The end.
He's also a spider or a bird.
He's also a spider. Yeah, I forgot that. He's a spider. We're hanging out in his teenage room. That's it.
Yep, that you are. Thank you very much, Daria. Perfect. A good summation of what happened. GMO husband.
Genetically modified husband. It's not that far off.
Artificially created.
Yeah. Look. I must also point out that our music today is by the wonderful Sirenscape. That is what is gracing your ears, or it will be when it starts back up again. And we are affiliated with Woodenforge. Woodenforge Gaming Accessories are the creators of Australia's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, possibly even the world's. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I haven't checked all over the world to make sure they are the best. In my opinion, however, which is just an opinion and therefore not legally binding, they are very good. I particularly enjoy mine. This is Jara Dice Tray.
How many years have you been a carpenter?
Like 10? Why?
I just feel like you might be able to give a reasonably
I can give. Oh look,
educated opinion on wood.
I'm skilled woodcrafter. Much good, very wow, delicious, yum yum yum, very nice. Can confirm. Go over woodenforge.com/Corsos buy thing. Yeah, very crunchy, much nice. Please buy, support channel. I'm good, DM Josh. Wow. Okay. I think that's about it. So,
Tonga Bunga.
Do we need to reboot the job?
Yeah. Turn it off and on again.
Try to turn it on and off again.
So, mateys, may your teenage basement hideouts not be undisturbed, and all bartenders give you the local goss as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. So, Ereq, you are at your mum's window. Area is looking perhaps a little better than when you last saw her, but still rather frail and weak. Your father has been doing his best, and the family doctor Phasian has been consulted regularly. Julio and Kesh, you are back in the basement room with a worn but comfortable furniture, several posters of heroic individuals, and a tender recruiting advert. Books, magazines are scattered around, and a narrow bed is in one corner. What do you guys do?
Well,
Seeing as
Ereq
Ereq
is
went off
up.
to do something, yeah, what did you guys do?
I guess I have a nap, I suppose.
A nap in enemy territory. That's wow.
Yeah.
Nerves of steel.
Snooze when you can and all that.
Yeah.
Cover it with bugs.
Yeah. Kesh, I do have a question for you. So, what exactly are we trying to achieve here? Are we trying to assassinate the granny, or are we trying to make her be good now? What's the plan? Do you know? Because I don't know.
I'm 99% sure assassinating her was not the plan.
Okay.
I think we are possibly trying to find out where she stands before we ask her where she stands, so we can go into that discussion with a bit more ammunition than we might otherwise. And, hopefully either convince / manipulate / bribe her into being on our side, but not obviously.
Okay. It seems like bribing her would be a tall task. I feel like she has a lot of money.
Well, I imagine we'd have to bribe her with something other than money.
A grandson's love.
I think that's on Ereq, isn't it? If he's prepared to offer that up.
Yeah.
It's write on a card.
Grandson's love.
1 in brackets 1 Ereq's love.
The last letter she got
1
from him
in
was
brackets,
not that
1.
positive, so...
Listen, if he promises to have 1 family dinner a week, that's big. That's strong.
That's huge. Trust me, that's massive. And more than I can commit to, so...
Exactly, that's big. Okay, well, do you want me to snoop around the mansion too? Because I can if we want to. I just don't know what we're looking for exactly. I don't feel like we should snoop around in Ereq's teenage bedroom. I'm not exactly in desire to know what was going on in this place. all this time, so like.
Yeah. So, did Ereq tell us what he was going to do?
I think
don't
so.
think so.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
he
pretty
said
sure
he
I
went
said.
to his mom.
Yeah, I think I said I was gonna go see Mum and then creep on Granny.
Cool. Oh, that's
Don't
right.
say
Were we
creep
going to
on
look for
Granny.
didn't they have like a chapel or something?
Yeah,
That's it.
that was
We were gonna-
mentioned, but it wasn't expected that Granny would be there. It's up
No, we
for
would be snooping for signs of cult-like worship,
Yeah,
mayhaps.
yeah.
That was it. I was like, there was something, and my brain is just not spitting it out. Well, it possibly might be worth our while to see if we can sneak into this chapel. See if it's got any possibly cult-esque apparatus that we might want to destroy, dismantle, or at least note for future reference.
Okay.
Which one of you has the higher passive perception?
Ooh.
Certainly not I.
Okay, it's probably Kesh then. She's a ranger.
17.
Yeah, Kesh. There is you can hear the doorway to this room is sort of about halfway below the ground. Like it's one of those you walk down like half a flight of stairs to get into the door. Somebody is coming down those stairs. There's only like 6 stairs, but you can hear footsteps coming down those stairs.
I was like, grab hold. I was like, is there anywhere to hide?
I mean,
Because
there
doesn't
is
it
loads
hide
of places to
behind a couch?
hide. Yeah. There
I
is.
just like grab Julio, like drag him behind the nearest couch. Like, shh.
We dive in.
Yeah. So you can certainly obstruct the view of yourselves from the door. However, in fact, just actually hiding, you might need a cupboard or something. Like you're a grown woman. You're an adult Mapatch, at least 4.5 foot tall. You're.
Do I have enough time to get in the cupboard? I'll get in the cupboard.
I'm not 100% sure that there is a cupboard. This is actually technically the cupboard. The whole
We're
room is.
already in the cupboard.
You're already in a storeroom, so there wouldn't be a cupboard within the cupboard.
Fine, I will drag Julio to the most discreet corner of this room.
Does
Okay.
the door open inside?
Yeah, it would open inwards.
Stand behind the door. I can fit under the couch. You stand behind the door.
Kesh is thick.
With with a weapon.
Kesh
Okay.
just trying to wedge her booty behind the door.
All right, Kesh.
Your ass cheeks is too loud.
So make me hiding checks, I guess. Which I think is stealth.
That's called sneak. Yes.
Oh, I just realized I need to roll in the other thing. Oh no, it still came up. Okay.
Yeah. You can.
Up the map.
That's the idea. You can use the above VTT either way.
So low. Sorry.
Why did you
I don't
roll
know why I
short
was
bow
so-
damage?
I don't. I'm trigger happy. Okay.
Ah, kill him!
My stealth is so bad. I'm like, fuck him.
I shoot the booty.
Yeah. A 15 and a 16. Kesh, you it's a rush job. You've done. It's like. Yeah, you've done this all in about 5 seconds. Like, go, get out the door. Hey, Rob the Bearded Dragon. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you managed to get yourself up behind the door. There is a couple of coats hanging off a hook off the back, which you can sort of use to disguise the upper half of you. As the door swings open, you're like, ugh! And you sort of suck
Just
it
my
in.
curvaceous thighs are just exposed.
Tuck your fluffy tail into the corner where the door swings in. You're like, Julio, you get under the couch. There is probably a bit of scuffling, a bit of scratching as the two of you sort of like anybody
Probably
listening
just
for
roaches.
footsteps would have heard the footsteps of you guys quickly hiding. I will roll in fact, no, Rob the Bearded Dragon. Thick 5 save lives, exactly. Rob, could you roll me a d20 in chat? Or no, make it perception. ! Perception in chat,
Roll
please.
shit. Roll shit.
This person has a +2. A 6, 8. He did not hear you as a Corvum enters the room. Kesh,
Do we
you
recognize?
You can see the back of his head as he walks in.
Does it look familiar?
Well, I'm going to ask Brendan to describe the back of this person. Brendan, have you got any idea who I'm going to ask you to describe?
Yes, I have a fair idea.
Fairly good idea. Okay,
Is he younger than Ereq?
Yeah, he's just a little bit younger than Ereq, yeah.
Yeah. I would say he is probably on the slim side. His feathers are probably slicked down, so they're not terribly puffy, which probably makes him look even skinnier and smaller. He would probably carry himself with very rigidly, with like years and years of very strict training of posture. Although he would probably, if he's coming here for the reason that I think he is, he will probably relax as much as he's capable of when he gets in.
And we did not, in character, hear about Eric's servant friend or whatever. Someone was mentioned last time who was like, hangs out here. But I don't think Eric told us in character. Oh, the brother. Oh, I thought it was
I definitely said it in character.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. That I'm not killing this man.
Yeah. So, Julio, you can see the feet of, you would guess, a Corvum. They're not wearing boots or anything. I don't think birdfolk wear shoes often.
Sorry.
Now we just need the tail. Kesh, yeah, you can see the back of this person. They are dressed quite well. It's casual, but it's smart casual. It's never more casual, sort of. It's casual, but it would cost you 10 gold pieces, sort of casual clothing. And it is worn in the manner of somebody who is used to wearing clothing like this as their normal daily attire. They don't stop and look around. They don't appear to have heard people within here at all. However, they do notice that the candles have been lit. And you hear him, but actually, on an 8, they think nothing of it. I don't think he even oh, weird, did I leave them? He doesn't even say anything. But he goes to the couch in the center of the room, the back of which is to Kesh, and that Julio is under. And he sort of flops down onto it. Basically, Kesh, he cannot currently see you, and Julio, you are smushed a bit as the couch, which was already a bit sagging, sags even more as a full-grown Corvum boy. Maybe not a thick boy, but he is definitely. Corvum are one of the larger species, and he's a full-grown adult. It's quite a slender one, but yeah, he probably weighs somewhere in the region 50-60 kilos, and yeah, he just squished you down a bit. Kesh, you can see Julio underneath go the one eye.
So he looks like he's settling in. He didn't just stick his head in.
He takes you can see one arm reach out and grab a magazine from the coffee table.
What sort of magazines do they have in the Humblewood?
Or a pamphlet. A pamphlet.
Teenage boy room. What kind of magazines do you think we have fucking have?
Blowackers for days.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to intrude on this man's time.
No, it's just a Corvum lady lifting up her feathers so you can see all of her leg.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that's it's only then that you notice so many boxes of tissues just everywhere.
Thanks for ruining my young adult hideaway.
Right.
You're welcome.
Do I realize who this is?
you probably guess. Brendan, is there a passing family resemblance?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me, a human man, to talk about resemblance of what are essentially all birds.
Yeah.
But
They all look
yeah,
alike.
there's probably a similar kind of plumage.
Yeah.
Color of
Shape to the
color of
beak.
plumage. Yeah.
Brendan is such a good actor. He just revealed to us that he's actually a human man, which to me is a surprise. I thought he's a corvo.
Yeah, you know, just actor things. But before I left, I did say, look, here are some people who know about this place, my brother Rafe and some of the servants. So
What do we
I
know
did
about
mention.
Rafe's disposition towards Ereq? Was that discussed at all?
Not in.
It was discussed as a question mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not sure how he currently feels about you.
You didn't even talk to him at the wedding.
No.
Cash, you may
I'm
have
trying to
seen
decide
him at the
whether-
wedding, but you didn't speak to
Yeah.
him there.
We didn't interact.
No.
So I'm trying to
For what
decide.
it's
Mm,
for what it's worth, Ereq probably would have spoken to him at the wedding. We just didn't because
Yeah.
time was a factor. But
Yeah.
yeah.
right. Because
Any...
I can either just stay here, semi-concealed behind the door, and let events unfold. Julio is
Well, you do
unlikely to be
see-
discovered right now.
Yeah, but Julio is like slowly losing air because he's smooshed by the corvan butt. So he's like,
Wait till Julio passes out and then call it. Or I can
Nice.
close the door, thus trapping Rafe
Yeah.
in the room, and we can have a
Oh, razzle
conversation.
mm.
But then we're trapped in a room with Rafe, who we don't know.
We can deal with it. Two of us, one of him.
Ereq's not particularly attached to his family, right?
Even less so soon.
You know, I just don't want him to start chanting Menzeloff, and then summon, you know, like a blood.
I'm not
beast and,
sure
like,
he
ruin my
comes
day.
here to chant Menzeloff. I'm sure he comes here for other reasons.
Can we...
Bird Babes Weekly.
Brendan is like, I fucking hate this place.
You hear him say, "Check out the breasts on these," and it's just like a catalog
Chickens.
of raw meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. He's freaky like that.
And there's a bunch of Playboy bunnies, but they're all just Joe Bean girls. He's like, ooh, interracial.
They're holding their tails up high.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
God.
servant girls who are horny.
I
Um,
can't believe Brendan. He's like, no, don't ruin my backstory.
well,
I
it's
got
ruined now.
these
Let's
piles
live. Let's
on
do
there.
this.
My
Pause.
pristine backstory. Oh yeah, he's freaky.
He's actually reading a pamphlet on interspecies communication issues.
Yeah.
It's very intellectual.
Oh, you know what?
So humble folk are from Mars,
We-
bird
we
folk are
can-
from Venus.
You know, like slang and stuff between species that can help you.
Yeah, Urban Dictionary, all the
Okay.
hard dictionary.
Yeah. Suburban
I was
dictionary.
just reading the dictionary, you know, just casually.
Technically,
How
every...
do I mind a book when I have a notebook in my lap that I could have been like, yeah, it's just reading the dictionary.
Hey!
It's props. You're an actor.
Thanks for the resub, Kate, you bloody champion. You know,
Hello.
technically, if you've read
Helen
the
already has viciously slayed a bot.
if you've read the
Many
dictionary, every
people.
other book after that is just a remix.
that
Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna stop distracting myself and make a decision.
Yeah,
So, Rafe does.
you could just wait
He
for
looks
Ereq
chill.
to get back, but he looks chill. He looks like he's settling in. He had a drink in his hand when he came in, and he's sort of like a cup of tea or something, and that is on the coffee table. He looks to be here for at least the length of the beverage.
Okay.
And whether or not Julio can survive the length of the beverage, I mean, I'm not going to say he gets crushed to death, but Julio can.
I'm in
What
the
a way
process
to
of
write
being
out
crushed
a
to death.
PC is hiding under a couch
Yeah.
and got sat on.
Spoilers, Daria doesn't want to play
die?
anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
suffocated.
Imagine
Hiding
this
under
is
a
the week we
couch.
will say goodbye to Tara. She was
Yeah,
crushed
Bennett gets
by
this
a
massive
jerking off
send-off, asked to go on an
Yeah,
adventure with
good
Nevermore.
luck.
Julio gets crushed by Eric's little brother.
Not so little. This is the problem.
Crush me, daddy. That's another book that he's reading, yeah.
Okay. Now, I asked this question last time, but I can't remember the answer. Does this door lock from the inside?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Can I suggest something?
Of course.
Can there be an erotic novel in canon that advertises tenders and called Tender Loving?
Tender loving care, yeah.
The forbidden romance between two tenders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait,
That book
tenders aren't
hasn't
self.
been written yet.
Rule 69, it will be. So, no, it's Rule 34.
Tenders
isn't it?
don't have
Yeah.
a celibacy clause, do they?
No. Far from it. If it was, Abby was fully intending to violate it until
think so.
Ereq told her, honestly.
Uh,
No. Celibacy clauses are silly, and I will not have them in my world.
all right.
What's the joke? Do you know what a priest's testicles look like? Come on, even a child knows that one.
No. Gross.
Thank you, 18 plus rating.
I'm ashamed of you right now. How dare you? Oh.
Are you going to tell him
So-
you're there, or just going to stand there
Yeah,
behind the door
what
in
do we do?
the coats?
All I can think about is that awful joke you just
No,
suggested.
don't use
Okay,
that as a
Karen,
blame.
If you need a second opinion, I think we should talk to him. And even if it goes
Okay.
bad, well, we shank him.
Okay,
Although
can
Eric
Oli and
comes
I
back,
make...
you've been left for 15 minutes, his brother is dead. Sorry, we didn't know who it was.
Can Julio and I, like, make eye contact from where we are?
You can see my face. I'm like,
Help. Help.
I'll, like, hold up 3 fingers and go, like... And then I'm going to shut the door as quickly and quietly as possible. And lock it.
Okay. Make another stealth check. Quickly and or quietly.
Both.
Alright, let's see. Which is your priority?
24!
You do both.
Ooh,
It is
nice.
quick and whisper silent. He's still,
I, like, whiz it almost all the way and then stop at the last second.
he is still completely unaware of your presence.
Okay. I'm going to take a deep breath and go... Please don't panic.
Great Titan's beak!
I said don't panic!
I'm sorry, you a strange voice out of nowhere says don't panic. It's not the first thing I think. Oh, alright, no, I shouldn't panic then. I was already panicking by the time you... Who are you?
We'll get to that in a sec. Just, would you mind standing up? You're squishing my friend.
Huh?
I am the magic couch.
The couch is now a mimic.
Rafe leaps out of the couch with an athleticism he does not possess, and sort of smacks his shin on the coffee table, which goes base over apex, and he lands face down on the floor, eye to eye with Julio, and goes, "Oh God! Huh! Oh, my knee! Hi, hello. Who are you?"
Hi, I'm just like, do I have healing spells?
Yes.
I do.
Oh, I have good berry.
He's bruised.
yeah.
He's not bleeding. He's fine.
Okay.
You can smash the little good berry on his shin and
Smush
the
it
bruise
into his
goes
shin.
away.
There's a boo-boo.
Hi. Sorry to startle you. I'm Kesh. That's Julio under the couch there.
Hi,
I'm
Kesh.
trying to like get out. a
Hi,
little bit.
Julio.
I'm assuming you are Ray?
Wait, I think I remember you from the wedding. You're Ereq's friend.
Yeah.
Everyone's been on the
Nice.
fucking wedding. Great, even this guy.
Was he at the wedding?
No,
Yeah.
I was not. That's
He's very
that's a
upset
bitch.
about that.
It was a pretty meh wedding, I'll be honest. There was
There was a kidnapping.
yeah.
The principle of the thing. I love kidnappings.
Oh, so why are you here? Where's Ereq?
Ereq is also here, just not here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He'll be back.
And you didn't knock on the front door.
No, we kind of snuck in.
Yeah. That's probably for the best, given the letter Ereq sent Granny.
Do I know about the letter Ereq sent his granny?
I think so. I think he
Did I-
told you
did
he
I,
was
like,
going to send.
did-
Yeah.
Did I read it,
Do we know the
or did
context?
you? Like, am I aware of its
I
contents?
think
at all?
I think he told you roughly what he was going to put in it.
I think you read it.
Brendan definitely
At
read
least
it on
roughly.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know if Kesh heard him read it.
It wasn't a secret from many of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that go?
Not. She hasn't taken it particularly well. Do you want to sit down? And he
Oh.
sits. He's like, well, you're friends of Ereq. He's my big brother. Your friends are mine until you have a reason to not be. Have a seat.
Really glad I didn't go for knocking you out.
Really glad you didn't too. That would have been awkward, all round, at least.
My rapier was just right under your cloaca.
Yeah,
It was
I'm.
real close.
Yeah. He tucks. Can you make me a perception check, the pair of you?
Yes. Yes.
22.
Kesh
Ooh, 20.
and Julio, you both notice this pretty much in unison. As he goes to sit down, he gets his teacup and the book that he was reading, and he gets the teacup, which is he tries to make it look like the teacup is the reason he leans over it, and as he does, he sort of just scoops the book up with it and puts the book in his pocket.
Can I tell what sort of book it is?
It is bound. It's a book like but in the style of sort of the 1800s. Sort of not. It doesn't have pretty pictures on the cover. It is bound in
Magic tome.
Not a magic tome, but it has that sort of look to it. Yeah, it is a tome. It is a bound book with a hardcover. The cover would be green with gold leaf on it. But you don't catch a glimpse of the title.
And the kind of color doesn't
It's not unusual.
allude.
Just normal color.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Cultism
quite
for
a
dummies.
nice book. You know that a printing press is not something that exists here, so it is handwritten.
Cool.
Like, that's actually the most ostentatious thing about this room by a country mile. There is, 24 books in it. Books are expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
Chaotic Goblin, thank you for the resub, you bloody champion. 6
Hey.
months.
Thank
Well,
you.
I think we sit down, right? We
Yeah,
we
yeah.
act
Yeah,
civil.
yeah. We'll sit. He
He
doesn't have to know he's locked
he tried
in
to
here
do
with
it
us.
as much as possible with it's you can insight it if you like if he was worried about you seeing what the book was, or he just wants to put his book away. But he
I'd
did
like to
Yeah,
insight.
yeah.
I'll inside. I'm prepared to. Oh
Yeah.
shit! 26.
Yo, fuck him up.
What the hell?
Julio, not so much. Yeah, Julio, he definitely
I can't wait
did.
for the combat when you roll low.
Yeah, I can't wait for
Here we go.
combat when I'm rolling
Yeah.
ones and twos. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, Julio, nothing odd about it really. Like maybe you would probably guess he just doesn't want you seeing what he was reading. You have your own suspicions about this teen boy's room. Yeah. Kesh, he was furtive about it. It's clearly something that he is embarrassed about. Whether or not you would be judgmental of it is a totally different thing. He doesn't want to take the risk, is what you're getting.
Cool.
He doesn't know you, and so he's like, I'm just gonna... They don't need to know. That's not relevant or germane. There we go. I'll just put that there.
Well, I'm gonna slot that away. See if I can. If there's like an awkward lull in the conversation, I can do the. So what are you reading? Reading any good books at the moment?
To make it more awkward, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's...
absolutely.
There is...
That's what I do in every awkward pause in real life. So, read any good books lately?
There are 3 chairs. There's 2 armchairs and a couch in here, arranged in a semicircle. Mert the Gnome as many different games as possible. Robbie Hoodie is saving up for another NPC. Good. Alrighty.
I admire your dedication to this, Robbie Hood.
It's impressive. So yeah, he sits down in one of the armchairs. He seems reluctant to sit back down on the speaking couch. And he says, so, yeah, why have you guys come here? After what Ereq's... I haven't read the letter, but Granny said it was pretty conclusively he's probably not coming home again. I'm kind of worried I would never see him again.
Before we get to why we're here, do you know what's happening outside the city? Like, what's your news right now?
There's a weird vibe out there.
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, that's why Granny's going back, right? Lots of things going on. I think it's pretty poor showing that an ancient old bird has to step back into public life just because a few undesirables have managed to make such a show of disunity.
Do you expect me to believe that the Grand Matriarch isn't looking forward to being a political hotshot in Alderheart?
She's tired, Kesh. She's ancient. Like, she's looking for a replacement. She's looking to retire. I've been being trained. Like, I've been being introduced around. She's looking for a replacement, and now that Mum's sort of off the table, hopefully not forever, but you know, never know what's going to happen. So, I mean, yeah, I've it's a very nice girl who. Yeah, I'm quite keen on. You know, it's nice, it's mutual. But yeah, enough about that. Anyway, yeah, she might get a bit of a kick out of it. She is a bit of a bossy old lady, you know, but she said she doesn't want to go for long. She wants to be home. She wants to be back. She wants to make sure I'm ready, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Not that I'm taking over or anything.
What vibe am I getting off him? Is he relaxed? Does he feel like he's like chill and honest, or is he tense and furtive?
Give me another insight then.
When will my luck cease? Will it be this or will it be the next?
With that plus 7,
15.
15. He seems pretty unconcerned. He has the unconcern of the privileged.
Ah.
He is a straight white man in a conversation about black lesbians. He's like, this could be a problem, but not for me.
How horribly specific, but we understand.
That's very specific.
LGBTQ people of color. How about that? Yeah, he's like, I could see how that would be important, but not to me. And he probably has opinions. He probably has strong opinions about it, but it's like he's like, yeah, I'm not welcome in the conversation sort of vibes.
Don't have a dog in this fight.
Yeah, very, very much so. That will be for my wife. Yeah. But for all that, he's still a bit like, he is actually happy to see you.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And he did not in any way seem like he was put out when you were like, come on, Wraith. You're going to tell me that Iari's Shadow, she loves that. He's like, look, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't, like, obviously she does love messing with people, but, like, she's going to be a power broker until she dies, but she could do that from here. Like...
Yes, she wants to be a power broker from the comfort of her home in Brackenmill, not from whatever subpar accommodation she lives in.
The vibe, it seems like all these, like, youngsters, like, got, like, piss hitting their brain, and, like, now I have to, like, deal with it.
Yeah.
That's the vibe.
Yeah.
Is hitting their brain. I really like that.
I forgot that that's not an English metaphor. I'm sorry.
Is that a Russian phrase?
Be.
It's a great phrase.
Yeah.
They have the piss hitting their brain. I love that.
Yeah.
Can you say it in Russian?
Yeah, моча в голову ударила. Piss.
Amazing.
Hit you in the head, yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
It's like when people, like, go way out of bounds and, like, don't think of responsibility or anything. Like, it's just raw machismo, basically.
Right. Cool. Awesome.
Gone off his rocker, I think, might be a...
Yeah.
Kinda.
Or, in Australian, fucked in the head, mate.
Yeah.
Nice.
Someone pissed in his head.
It works in Australian.
Yeah, it actually
got
does.
Piss on the brain.
Yeah.
Yep. Take it and use it.
Yeah, like
popularize it.
Old man shakes fist at cloud. Cool. All right. Yeah, you said that. And he responded.
Right. Oh. Well, I'm sure her mere presence will shake things up, given the esteem people hold her in.
Probably. Yeah, what is going on? Because I've only heard sort of bits and pieces, but it sounds like, you know, something Granny will probably sort out in no time. But, you know, because, like, some of the council's gone missing? Someone's kidnapped them?
Oh, no, they weren't kidnapped. They left.
They left? And he leans in on that. It's like, when? Why?
When did they leave? How many days ago?
3 days ago?
A few days ago now. I believe it was to do with, Damn it, sorry, my brain is moving so slow tonight. I'm just like, I don't know how I'm meant to be with this guy. A few days ago, it was something to do with the integrity of the council being compromised.
Yeah, right. But some of them stayed.
Yeah.
So, like, there's internal divisions in the council?
Looks that way, yes.
He is clearly troubled by that. That does not match up with what he's been told.
Okay, Julio will look at Kesh very, like, intently without trying to, like, make him see it, but, like,
meaningful eye contact.
Meaningful eye contact, yeah, and, like, Julio's, like, trying to feel in a little bit and says, there was also mention of a strange name. Men's something. It's escaping my mind right now.
Men's
was it?
No.
How does he react?
He looks confused. He has never. You can insight, but he's. Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I'll
Doesn't
insight
seem
for
as
lulz
culty.
to see how far I can push
Yeah,
my
me
rolling
too,
luck.
me too. I also want to insight. Oh, you are on the fucking roll with this guy. You know him. You read him like a book.
So what did you
Eric's
get?
gonna
It's
come
not
in
coming
and
up
just
for
spill
me.
the beans, and Rape's gonna be like, "Why did you lie to me?"
21 for Kesh,
21.
15 for Julio.
Oh, there we go. It did. It just skipped twice. Kesh, you. Hey, Absalom Duck. Yeah, he is completely being honest. He has no idea what the name Menzel. He's never heard the name Menzeloff before.
That's
Okay.
good for us.
Yeah, he's like, oh, no, never. Don't know who that is.
Yeah,
That sounds
It was
foreign.
a weird. Yeah, it was a weird name, and I think they were talking about like some sort of religious order to do with it. It was very confusing.
That, on the other hand, and I'll let your roll over, does sort of, he's like, huh, yeah. It's like, what, like not Titan or the other Amaranthines?
Might have mentioned one of them as well. But yeah, it's weird name beginning with M.
Oh, first I've heard of it.
Strange times.
Very, very. So, did you guys, you left Alderheart because of that?
Yeah, and Eric kind of wanted to find out what your granny knew about things. But
Oh.
given, the letter he sent and everything else, he wanted to be a little discreet about it.
Fair.
It's just
Fair
the
enough.
case.
Oh, look. I'm not so naive as to think that Granny tells me everything, or even most things. But that's not what she's told me, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Oh, what
Like-
does she think's going on then?
Well, from what I've been told, the council members Beta, Viscar, and Mentax were kidnapped by renegade bandit defectors, including
Oh.
some members of the Wildwood Brigade, who used to
Oh.
be members of the coalition, and that's the news that's going around. But it's being kept sort of quiet to like it's not going to be in the papers or anything, because they don't want to like an uproar, like they don't want to make people worried. So yeah, my understanding, and like you're quite an important person. I feel like I can say this to you. Plus, I'll say it to Ereq, and then he'll probably tell you anyway. So yeah, it does sound to me rather like they're afraid of an uproar, and Granny is going to sort of fill that spot on the council as a temporary measure, but she's got to get elected first. Like the people need to vote for her, so she'll be elected.
Right. I just have a hard time picturing them managing to kidnap them.
No, they had a large
How
military
would they pull
force.
that off?
Well, apparently they had quite a large military force in the Alderheart, and there was, I have no idea, to be honest. Like, I know that they kept a lot of the Wildwood Brigade were in Alderheart though, and then they left all at once. Apparently, they all just sort of marched out.
Do you know where? Where to?
Like, I haven't been told where. I don't. Does anyone know? Does?
Not sure.
Well, okay. Out of
Can you make
character-
deception checks, please?
Yeah. Shit.
Because
I
you've
should've-
done a
I
bit.
should've-
You've done a bit of
I should have
deceiving.
given inspiration to Kesh before we started. Oh wait,
11!
you can get bonus from me because I'm a bard of canopy now.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
add my charisma to your charisma roll. So 13. Nice.
13's
I
better.
rolled 19. And I have 19.
Yeah, you did.
I think we
he
all
does.
have inspiration too, right?
You do have inspiration, Karen. He has rolled. Julio manages to deceive him. However, he sort of squints at Kesh and he's like, What's your, like, what were you and Ereq doing? Like, I got the impression you guys were like monster hunters or something.
Oh
But
yes,
you-
we've been.
You worked for a military. Were you perch guard?
Is he dumb?
The perch guard is not exclusively bird folk.
Oh, I always had it in my head that it was.
I like
super
me
different.
questioning. Is he dumb?
He,
Wow.
it does. It feels like they should be, but no, they're not exclusively bird folk. They're sort of 60-70% bird folk. But yeah, the bird folk, the town watch of Brackenmill would be perch guard, and their 2IC was a servant.
Right. Oh yes, of course. Sorry.
We're
Like I
not
said,
monster
brain
hunters. We
pigeon.
just kill everything that's not humanoid. Elemental hunters, technically, but they did make a wakeworm bugger off, so that's a monster. Turns out the real monsters were the the slimes you met along the way.
Oh no, not in the perch guard. No.
He said, Wildwood Brigade?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
but kind
But
of
not one of the defectors, presumably.
Well, me and Ereq got recruited by the council to do this whole elemental hunting down thing.
Right.
So I'd kind of been
Seconded to them.
shuffled out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
So I
not
wasn't-
really a Wildwood Brigadier anymore. You're more of an operative of the council.
Technically, I was never dismissed from the Wildwood Brigade, but I wasn't.
You technically got super fired though.
I was not fired. We've been over this.
We have
like-
2 sore spots. One for Kesh for being
Yeah,
fired,
one for Julio.
Julio for not getting invited to the wedding.
She was going to get a different job, a better job, that job.
So I guess I'm sort of in that weird grey area where they haven't fired you, but they've definitely cut your hours right down, and you're not sure
Right.
where you stand.
Yeah, okay. Sort of.
And now
that's-
most of the Wildwood Brigade is not in Alderheart anymore, so it's even more confusing.
Right. So, if you don't mind me asking, what side do you sit on in this whole? You know, the Wildwood Brigade all left Alderheart in a big show, and I was told they took the councilman with them. Where do you sit with that? He's like, and I acknowledge that's maybe a dangerous question for me to ask because you guys are armed and I'm not. I'm sort of counting on the fact that I'm my brother's brother to... Is that door locked?
I don't mind that. Listen, if we didn't kill you while you were, getting the nasty on, sitting right on top of me on the couch, we're not gonna kill you now.
I wasn't reading anything dirty.
Sure. That's why. Then why are you fucking hiding it?
Is that scantily clad pictures of birds in your...
Are there cloacas there? Listen, we're all
No.
adults here.
There actually aren't. There actually aren't. And he shows you, and he's like, "Look, it's a religious text, if you gotta know. And it does look familiar.
Uh-oh,
The-
stinky poopy.
The title is it's a book of prayers specifically devoted to the Night Father. There's prayers and sort of dogma.
Praying
He's like,
man.
but, you know, yeah, Granny said I should be better versed in the classics, you know, so...
Sorry, that's like literally the opposite of what we were insinuating.
Yeah, that's, yeah. I kind of wish there were, honestly, if there was, because I wouldn't, look, it's a bit embarrassing, but yeah, no, I kind of wish that I was actually enjoying my free time looking at semi-naked ladies. Yeah, honestly.
Instead,
yeah.
you have homework.
Exactly, thank you, yeah. But it's...
Okay. To answer your question, I suppose I'm more on the Wildwood side, just because I guess I have more reason to trust them than I do the council.
Okay.
They did kind of dick me around a bit while we were doing the whole monster hunting business, so...
Right.
I'm just trying to lay low at the moment.
Okay.
See
And
how it pans out.
that's why you've come here and figure out exactly, you know, where Granny sits. Where is Ereq?
You know,
Like, where's he gone?
good question. He had several places he wanted to sneak to, so I'm not exactly sure which one he is currently located in.
Right. Okay. Am I trapped here with you? Can I leave, or like I don't know if I
don't want
can.
to use the word trapped, but if you could stay here till Ereq gets back, that would be great.
Right. Okay. Look.
Because, like, it's not that I don't trust you. Ereq certainly hasn't said, don't trust my brother. He's terrible. He will betray you and stab you in the back.
Oh, he
None
didn't
of
say
that's
that.
been said.
Okay.
But I am hiding on the property of an immensely powerful Corvan lady who probably doesn't like me very much. So...
Why not?
And I kind of do the whole...
Oh, no. She's not like that. She's...
Expander, affiliated with the Wildwood Brigade.
You got invited to the wedding. You're cool. You're good.
Oh, glad you think so.
Well, you wouldn't have been let in the gate if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, only cool people get invited to the wedding.
Exactly. Oh, sorry. I'm sure you are, though. My brother likes you. Nice color, nice cloak.
Thanks.
Okay, yeah, look, I was going to be here for the next few hours anyway. Would you guys like a cup of tea?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, he lights the fire and puts the kettle on.
While he puts the kettle on, can I? Is there like enough distance so we can like do a little shush?
Not really, but you. If only one of you knew message.
I hate you. Okay, then while he's doing the kettle, I'm not gonna speak. I'm just gonna like mime to Kesh a little
Bishop
bit.
Blood is right there with me.
Yeah, and Julio will just like, as he's turning away to do the kettle thing, he'll turn to Kesh and say like, us, him, heart to heart, like maybe.
Stab, no.
No, not stab. Maybe like. Seems cool kid. Maybe we could talk to him more in depth. Maybe tell him that the cult is doing stuff.
How much of this mimed message is getting through?
Well, it's only performance on my part.
roll performance, Julio.
Oh no. Okay. That's a 10.
It's about 30-40% of it. Maybe enough for you to vaguely figure out, like, should we kill him or no kill him? This is all ship hand signs. You're not used to.
I'll kind of
naval.
mime back. Just be cool.
Be cool.
Just be cool, man.
Okay.
Just be cool.
I'm gonna be
None of
cool.
whatever this is. He turns around and you're both like, hey.
Hey.
You're in identical poses on the couch, just looking at him. He's like, yeah. He serves tea. Is there anything else you would like to plumb him for information?
Not at this moment.
Okay, then we will cut to Ereq. Ereq, you're a bug on a window.
Yep. I'm a flying beetle.
Yep. For at least the next 3.5 hours.
Yes.
Maximum.
Okay. I am going to leave the room of my dying mother and see if I can find my grandmother's room.
Sure. Yeah, cool. You know where your grandma's room is. Top of the tree. Penthouse suite. Quite a leafy... yeah, she's in the canopy, very much, of the tree. And, yeah, but there are several rooms. There is a balcony, several windows, a couple of rooms. There is a balcony that's sort of around 2/3 of it. Very private. None of the other rooms get a good look at the balcony. You actually have to be out in the grounds itself to be able to see it properly. So it's quite secluded, quite private. The boughs of the tree make it really quite nice. Very green, very leafy. And, yeah, she's up there.
Okay, what's she doing?
The room is there. She is at a desk. In there, a roll-top desk. Apparently writing something by candlelight.
She's writing Tender Love. It's the upcoming erotic novel.
Yes, she's actually a secret Mills and Boone writer in the wood. Grandmotherly love. Make a perception check with your beetle senses.
Okay. As a wild shape, I get to keep my mental stats, right?
Oh, yeah. So it's your... so +8. Nice. Great. 25. You can see in the room there are 2 other beings, both hidden in the deep shadow toward the back of the room. A pair of raptors in cloaks.
Okay. Can I see any of their features, or I just kind of see their outline?
It's very dark. They both have eyes that glow a dull red.
Are they saying anything? Are they, like, looming?
They're not close to her.
Are they positioned by the door? Do I feel like they're guards?
One of them is positioned by the door. One of them are about 180 degrees around the circumference of the room, but neither of them is overly close to her.
Okay. So I don't get the sense that they're, like...
They're not watching her.
To make...
Yeah. Okay. They're watching over her.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, look. I'm not going to try to go into the room. I'm not going to test that. I'm sure I could murder all of them, but I don't really want to do that right now. Obviously, I assume I'm not going to be able to get an angle to read what she's writing, but do I get a sense that she has written a lot? Is there like a stack of papers?
This would appear to be a letter. There are 2. This is the second page, and she is writing in sheafs. So it's all just it's loose pages, and she has apparently started a second. One of them, the first one, is off to the side. However, you are able to see that the recipient is Sobel.
Mm-hmm.
That bit is visible, but it's the only bit that you can make out.
Yeah. Okay. Do I see, and I'll go to other windows if I need to, but do I see any religious iconography?
No. With that 25, not a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
With the possible exception of a Titan on the sort of around the neck of both of the ravens, both of the raptors.
But not on her.
Not on her.
Okay. Can I tell if the raptors are wearing the cult robes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
You have seen this person before. This raptor. You encountered them guarding Riffin.
Welcome.
Welcome
Okay.
and Riffin. This is...
How badly did we injure those guys?
He died. He turned into a wolf-raven hybrid by drinking a bottle of blood potion, and then you killed it and it turned into a puddle.
Do both of them look identical?
They are identical.
That's the thing that we even heard back in the fucking jail of
Well-
what's his name? Fell.
Yeah.
Fell.
Fell.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
this is also what
'Cause
Mark described. Mark described one of these people.
Yeah. That they all fell.
Okay. Yeah. Ereq was under the assumption that they were like a weird set of twins that were doing creepy stuff, but nope. It's something
Twins be
more than that.
weird.
Yeah.
They're octuplets.
Yeah, they're really pissed off because you killed two of their cousins.
Well, we only killed one, I think.
What? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Benek
Killed one of
anyway.
these guys, you killed them all.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to go to the chapel next because I think I've seen everything I'm going to see here as a bug without getting murdered. So I'm going to go to the chapel because that's where the three of us discussed that the other two would maybe head towards.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to meet up with them there.
Sure. You did discuss that. I don't think Kesh and Julio have any intention of leaving now, but that's fine.
No.
Yeah, Ereq, you head on over to the chapel. The chapel, the family chapel is an airy chamber, and I feel like, I mean, you're welcome to have thoughts on this one, but I think you actually have some fond memories of being in here. It's made with a verticality in mind. It is an airy chamber, the ceiling of which is very high and the acoustics are amazing. Whilst not particularly wide at the base, a series of balconies and stairwells give the space a lot of functional room. And Ereq would know that well over 100 people can comfortably occupy the space. Whilst it is built out of on the ground and out of a dark granite, the chapel features several leaf matter windows and 3 living trees that are part of the initial construction. So the trees were planted, the walls were built, and then the trees sort of grew around them to strengthen the walls as sort of pillars holding it up. The branches then sort of crisscross and provide a thin lattice in the upper reaches of the space, providing potential purchase for a host of congregants without interfering too much with eye lines. So yeah, it is 60 feet high, and the trees go the whole way up, and there are 3 layers of balconies, each of which there is a spiral staircase on one side that goes all the way up. And so yeah, it's roughly circular, and I made a map of it, so I will show everybody because it's pretty.
Cool.
And I'll just... Those. Cut on over to it. Bear with me a second. Cut. There we go. There's my boy. Zip. Maybe zoom in a little bit. Yeah, like that. And now I'll make it so that the players can see it too. There you go. Yeah.
Oh look, we're there.
Bling.
We are there.
You're not there, but I was prepared in case you did go there, because I kind of thought you would.
Look, if Rafe hadn't turned up, we probably would.
You probably would have. So yeah, you are there. It is apparently empty currently, except for Ereq, Julio, and Kesh. Two of whom are not there.
Sure. Okay.
It's about 100 feet across, roughly circular, and a tube going all the way up.
A tree is just a series of tubes.
Yeah.
When I lived here, was this a private chapel specifically for the Shadow Malts and Company, or
Yeah.
was it open to use?
No, it's the
the
family private chapel.
Okay.
It can seat large numbers of people for weddings and such. You know, like Greeky's service was not in here. That was a choice that Greeky and his wife made. But yeah, I think if Ereq was to get married, he would be if Wraith was to get married, he would be obliged to have at least a portion of the ceremony in here.
Yeah. Okay. With that context, this place probably has some heaviness for Ereq, to do with his duty. How could I get in as a bug? Are there windows open?
The windows are leaf matter windows, like the stained glass in the older heart. So they don't really open. That's not sort of what they do. There is, however, air vents to allow for the passage of cool air, because you don't want it getting hot and stuffy in there when there's like 200 people. So you could get in through an air vent.
Of wood.
Yeah. And stone. Yeah. The front door is currently closed. It is a large double door. Made of heavy wood and black iron. But yeah, you would be able to get in through an air vent or something if you're a small bug.
Okay. I will get in and have a look around. I assume I probably will come up from a higher event. So
Yeah.
I'm not on ground level. And I will say that my friends aren't here.
Yep.
Are there other rooms that I'm aware of?
No, it's not that kind of. It's not a church. It is a specific building for a specific purpose. There is nothing else that happens in here. However, the reason I thought you may have some sort of fond memories of it is it would be a very good place to learn to fly.
Yeah.
And it probably was your father who taught you, I would have thought.
Yeah. He didn't do a great job. Yeah, that sounds right.
Like, there's no crosswinds. There's a lot of canopy to catch you if you fuck it up. There's loads of perches, so it's more sort of little flutters that you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I want to fly down to the front door on the inside to see if there's any indication, like whether it's locked, whether there's any indication that anyone has been in here recently.
The door does not have a lock. It is a place of worship devoted to the Amaranthines. People are not traditionally kept out of these, even the private ones. It's almost seen as a part of the worship of that is that we don't exclude anybody. At least in theory. They have to get onto the grounds first, so that's how you would lock them out. Keep the filthy peasants away. It's a long way to go to sleep in a chapel. And Brackenmill is a fairly well-off place anyway, so it probably wouldn't. They just wouldn't. But yeah, the door is not locked, and it's I wouldn't say it was possible to really determine whether or not anybody has come or gone recently. There is no signs of disturbance, and there's no dust or anything. It's regularly used, it's regularly cleaned. The housekeepers probably come in and tidy it up at least once a day, even if no one's been in.
Yeah.
Anything more? You need an investigation check.
Yeah, look, I am sus of Menzeloth shrines, etc. So I want to check around the altar, particularly below it and underneath it, to see if there's some kind of secret switch or trapdoor or something.
Yep.
Do you want an investigation for that?
Please do, yes.
Okay.
And
21.
Brendan is also sus because Josh went to the effort of a map.
Well, I would have thought it was sus even if you hadn't.
Yeah. 21 is
the chapel of a
pretty
cult leader.
good. Yeah. Valid. So the main thing to discover here is that the altar has been converted into one specific to Menzeloth/Kren/Titan. There is specific iconography for Titan worship. The slight modification of that Titan symbol, which you are now quite familiar with, the moon with the stars, is all over the 2 books that are on here. There is also a large, shallow dish which contains a dark fluid.
Dark red?
Yes. How did you know?
Just a hunch.
Yeah. You never investigated that fluid particularly thoroughly, did you? It was sort of Bennick's thing.
Yeah, yeah. I was in the room when Kesh was investigating the one in the hideout, in the thieves' hideout. But
I would say a
things to do.
medicine or arcana.
Okay. Let's make it arcana.
Okay.
Dirty
Filthy 20. Filthy 20. Alrighty. Ereq, this is blood. It's not some weird magic blood. It is blood. It's not gone goopy. This is just blood. It's old blood. It's been out for a day or so. If you don't refrigerate it, it does go a little, like, the whole point of blood is that it scabs. That's what it does when it's exposed to air. But, yeah, so it is thickening a little bit, but it's not like what you saw before. It has no... To say it has no magical residue is incorrect, but it doesn't have the same kind of magical residue that you encountered before because you rolled Arcana. This is... It has a kind of magical residue, but it is more like you can feel the magic of life in it, which you could not in the other. Hey, Crisp and Crunch. Hey, Ellie B. Ah, they finished. Greetings, guys. How you going? How was Meeples? Thank you for joining us, you splendid individuals. I hope the game was good, and I will see you there tomorrow morning. It was funny. I am not surprised. Chaos happened. What? That's so unusual for those streams. How
Shocking.
odd.
I don't buy it.
I am surprised. I'm excited for my donation rewards tomorrow. I've got in for $50, for a very humble $50, you can make something a mimic. Something in the world, something in the adventure will be a mimic, and they have to figure out what. So no one touches anything.
Everyone's gonna be too scared to sit down.
Yeah, I was like, no chance! And there's so many things that are just gonna be like, I don't want to touch it, it might be a mimic. So much for my Saturday budget. Haha, good. Alright, yes, Ereq is investigating his family chapel, and has discovered a bowl of blood on the altar, which is always good and never portends bad things. However, this blood would appear to just be blood with a slight residue of life magic in it, which is not like the nasty, dirty, dark blood that was previously encountered in Menzeloth-style ceremonies.
Do I see any goblets or cups or anything around that may be used to imbibe in said blood?
What did you get for your investigation? 21. There are some. There is a cabinet in the north, at the north end of the circle, next to one of the trees that contains a set of sort of ornamental glassware. But it's the door is closed and it's more for show. You could drink with that, but it and someone may have it. It's clean. It does not contain any blood residue. But somebody could drink it with that if they wanted to. The bowl is large enough. It's quite broad. The bowl is, however, made of stone, so it's probably quite heavy. But it contains about no more than a liter of blood.
Okay, but so it doesn't look like it's attached to the altar.
No, it's not part of the altar.
Yeah. The other thing I was looking for was secret switches or trapdoors or anything.
None of that
below.
you could find.
Yeah.
And the book, there is a book of prayers and doctrine of the cult. It's different to the one you've seen before, but it doesn't contain anything that is like, oh my god, how shocking. If anything, it's a little bit... This one feels maybe a little trite. Like the person who wrote it wasn't really trying.
Okay. In terms of not...
hack.
In terms of not trying to hide how culty it was, or in terms of just phoning it in terms of...
This is so weird and creepy, how weird and creepy is it? That sort of... like, it feels like they're not even being subtle anymore. This is so weird and culty.
It sounds like someone was trying actually very hard to be over the top.
Yeah,
evil.
I suppose that's the point. They weren't doing a very good job of hiding that it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Could this be a, oh, look how evil we are sort of situation at all?
If anything, it would be incriminating.
Hmm.
This one is like, and then you drain the gerbine into the bowl.
Not the Jarbines again. What did we ever do?
Caress the
You know what
tail
you
as
did.
you do.
You know what it. So this is like, is it the vibe where we are already like in power in this place? Might as well not mask it.
That's one inference. Yeah, like you could certainly infer that they are not concerned about being found out here. Like, where all the other chapels you've encountered have been somewhat private or secret. This is not. Like, it's private, but only by distance. It's not even locked. And humble folk have regular access to this. All the groundskeepers are humble folk. The people who probably look after the place, who clean it, are humble folk.
Is it kind of a situation where, like, I hate to bring him up, but the only example I can think of off the top of my head, you know, like with the British royal family, like every now and again, someone will like speak out, and there's all this wild shit that happens in their house that to any normal person would be like wacky and crazy.
But all the people who work here have seen so much
normalized.
bullshit, they're just like, yeah, whatever.
I'm just like, so much wild shit happens in this place that this doesn't feel that wild.
Sounds legit, yeah.
Question: last time maybe I misheard it. You mentioned that like no humble folks step into the mansion, so this is outside of the mansion.
Yes.
Like the groundskeepers are like outside. In the mansion, only bird folk serve.
This is, yeah, absolutely. This is
Okay.
ground level. And sort of, it's part of but separate from. The mansion is more than just one building. It is a large series of... It's more of a campus. But yeah, this is... The only reason that you would think humble folk would be the ones that would clean it it's on the ground floor. It's on the ground. The humble folk do not enter the trees in this place. But also, it's the only space that is specifically for everyone. That, like, it would be considered immoral to block humble folk from entering.
Mm-hmm.
Except by what is written in the book that Ereq is currently perusing in beetle form.
He just scurries
this
to
is
flip
yeah.
the pages over.
You have, like, I'm having now the image of a beetle the size of a pigeon, like turning the pages, sitting on the altar, like every now and again just reaching in and taking a small sip of blood and just interesting. Shame it's not tar.
Yeah, look, I would just be perusing whatever is open.
Yeah, there's a couple of the 2 pages that are open are like, wow, okay, jeez.
Okay. Well, I feel like that's about as much as I'm going to discover here. I'm pretty confident that my friends did not come here, so I'm a little bit concerned about where they are. So I'm going to fly back out and go back to my
Teenage hideout.
completely wholesome hideout.
Yeah. I never said that there was anything horrible in there. Alrighty. Well, Ereq will do that, and I think we'll take a short breaklet. I think that would be a good time to have a little break. So yeah, we will go for a little breaklet. Could be back in 5 to 10. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everybody who was over with Meeples and Dragons, for abandoning your raidsome and coming and joining us. I hope you had a lovely time. I hope the adventure is as gripping as I'm finding it. Yeah, we will get back for Ereq and Rafe's brotherly meeting. Ereq hasn't seen his little brother in a while, and so that should be nice. Alright, well, we'll go away and we'll be back in 5 to 10. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Vast ahoy and g'day once again to you, mateys. Thank you for sticking around. And it's Moses. It's Moses. Thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Splendid. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the show. Crisp and Crunch, take care. Yeah, you need to let your brain heal after today's shenanigans. See you tomorrow, buddy. Have a good one. Gears. So,
what, there were shenanigans on Jasper's?
No, never. What? Kate was on today. Of course not. I need to ask her how playing with Owen was, because I've never played with Owen. Sorry. Ereq is buzzing his way back. Julio and Kesh are having a cup of tea with the lovely Wraith. Wraith is... I think he's pretty chill. Like, you have effectively taken him hostage, but in a nice way. And for
Listen
good
up,
reasons.
I don't want to hurt you, but I also don't trust you to go and raise the not to go and raise the alarm.
He's like, that's fair. Look, as long as Ereq comes back relatively soon, I was going to be here for the next little while anyway. He's like, I hope you don't mind, but I'm not going to read. That would be really weird. I don't know, you guys, I'm just going to wait with my captors, while my brother comes back to, admittedly, his room.
Well, that makes me ask you, though, why are you here? Like, why are you reading here?
It's a good hideout.
Don't you have your own room?
I do, but, I can be found in it.
Ah, and this place, like, hush, hush, no one knows about it.
Look, they all know about it, but they don't come here. They know that if I'm here and that if Ereq is here, we want to be alone, you know?
I see.
And when he left, I sort of took it over. I asked him first. He said it was fine.
Oh, okay. That's good.
And I helped him get some of the furniture in here, so I'm like, it's sort of my place too.
you know, brothers share things, mostly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the chairs, the magic couch. It's all good. Good design.
How clean is it under the couch, by the way, Julio?
Not very, I would have thought. Yeah.
Well, it's cleaner now because I'm per.
Yeah.
You're welcome, I guess.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. The tea is quite nice. It is not a fancy, but it's sort of, you know, on the scale of 1 to 5, it's definitely a 4. He's like, so, how did you guys all meet? Like, Kesh, you said, you and Ereq were recruited by the council?
Yeah, the council literally just smacked us together and hoped that we wouldn't kill each other, and we get along quite well, so that's panned out.
That's good.
He's a good egg, your brother. Occasionally pushes people into tar pits, but we don't hold that against him.
It's just his hobby, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's pushed me into a tar pit or two in my time. Like,
no, it was an intense situation. It was an option.
Wait, he actually did that? He actually pushed someone into a pit
Oh
of
yes,
tar?
he actually pushed someone into a tar pit.
It's not a metaphor, yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Crazy.
it's not an analogy.
Okay.
He totally did that.
Okay. Now alright, I'm dumb. I should have asked you this first. Alright, yeah. Give me it, all of it. What's it like, because he tells me nothing.
Oh no.
Hey,
What?
doctor.
Time to air all of Eric's dirty laundry to his bro.
So we're fighting these guards in this super secret hideout that's trying to raise an elemental, and there's a tar pit. And Eric's like, I'm gonna go down and pretend I'm with them and see if I can catch them off guard. And we're like, cool, go right ahead. And so he just goes down, pretends he's like important and official and stuff. And they're getting really confused because they're not quite buying it. And then just when it looks like it's all going to go to pieces and it's not going to work, Ereq just straight up yeets the guard into the tar pit.
My
And
brother.
then
what,
when another
sorry,
one kind of came up
who,
and tried
and
to
this,
stab him,
was this a
yeeted
bird
him
folk?
into the tar pit.
Okay, and were these bird folk or were these humble folk? Did they just fall straight into the tar pit or did they fly out?
They were birds, weren't they, Julio? Because one of them tried to glide, but screwed it up and landed in the tar pit anyway.
They were both birds.
Yeah.
He's like, wow. And so did they survive? No.
Some
The
did.
answer's-
Karen trying to remember.
No, they did not.
care.
Some did. We took some people hostage.
The tar didn't kill them.
So who did?
Well, we did.
You did. Okay.
We're trying to stop them raising an elemental, so it seemed quite important.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah. No, and I'm glad you did. Good job. Awesome.
I'm generally not in the business of murdering people unless it's in, you know.
No, of course.
See, I think one of the people fell into the tar twice.
Yes, one got out, and we had to push him back in.
Yeah. He didn't get the memo. We
Had
did
to
it
push
again.
him back in.
Had to, no choice whatsoever.
Shouldn't have got out, you know? Like,
Who did
come on,
indeed.
get with the program, stay in.
Inspiration has been redeemed by Lilith. Lilith, everybody's got one. I said we've already got one. But it's very kind of you. Look. For Ereq. Okay. Ereq, you have to spend it on the next roll.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So he's like, Kesh, be real with me. Has my brother ever killed anybody? He has?
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you, like, surprised?
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Really? Because he's,
Yeah.
like, very intense.
He is that. I just, I didn't see that.
You're, like,
He's
being
not
out
a
there in the
mad
world.
murdering machine.
No. This is
He has an
Ereq.
outlet.
He has an outlet.
Yeah.
I think all the like banked rage and family issues kind of like bloom when he's on the battlefield, and then it's anyone's game, really.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Here,
Have you ever killed anyone?
No.
You should try it.
I think I've got less rage than Ereq. Apparently. I sorry, Karen, I missed that. You were peaking a bit. I don't think the mic was picking it up.
I was squeaking in surprise that Julio was just like, you should try it. Murder, you should try it.
Very therapeutic.
Robbie Hoodie, that sounds dope, by the way. Bought a projector and screen for D&D this weekend. Gonna be outside, gonna get a bunch of tables and chairs. Hell yeah. That sounds cool. That sounds awesome.
Still have that old projector? Or did
Yeah.
we get rid of
Yeah,
that?
no, it's in my box of things that I'll probably never use again. Right along with all the
keep saying,
cables.
we should sell those.
Yeah.
That box?
Yeah, I think most men my age have a large box of cables that are for things that you don't need anymore. But, no. Because the rush of dopamine when you do need one of those cables, and it happens occasionally, like a power cord for a monitor. Those are still fairly ubiquitous. HDMI
You mean that
cables,
monitor we
I've
got for
loads of
free
spares.
because it didn't have a power cable? That
Yeah.
one?
That, straight up. Older men have a larger box. Yeah, Time Doctor, I don't think we ever actually stop. Yeah, it just, the cord gets longer. Yeah, the cord box is always handy, yeah. Mine is within 8 feet of me right now. And given the amount of tech stuff I do, it is usually handy. I mean, we were able to source, Karen acquired a keyboard, as in like for music. And we were like, oh gosh, but it doesn't have a power cable. Damn. Wait.
To the box with us.
To the box!
Very much so. To the
Yeah.
box.
Anyway, yeah, it is about at this time, Ereq, you hear, probably, you flitter to the door, to your secret hideout, and hear the phrase, wow, yeah, I think Ereq may have a little bit more rage than me. Through the door.
And now he has just a bit more.
And it's your brother's voice. And yes, the rage increases. Nice.
Well, now I need to go find a tar pit.
Oh, I'll be back. There has to be one somewhere.
I think we probably joked about this before, but you know how there's a portable hole item? Can I just put tar in that?
Yeah, we have made that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a joke anymore. We have to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a request. Okay. Yeah, look, I'm going to crawl under the door as a bug.
Yep.
And then find somewhere with a little bit of space, but ideally like on the other side of the door.
Wow.
And then turn into Ereq again.
Very well, you do that. Your body compresses quite flat. Like, bugs are amazingly flexible. Because I think you are about the size of a pigeon. But yeah, you and go through under the door.
He's like an octopus. He can just kind of...
Like cockroaches can squeeze through remarkably small spaces. And I think beetles are similar.
It's very upsetting.
It is. All but the beak. Well, he's not a bird. He's not a bee flying around with a. Not a beetle flying around with a beak.
I believe he's
it's-
referring to the octopus's beak, Josh.
That's slightly better.
Oh, that's a different GM, Josh. Robbie Hoodie. That is an old one. GM Josh hasn't been here in a while. Yes. So Ereq comes in and then appears, and it's a slow expansion, isn't it? It sort of takes about 5 seconds, but in reverse, it's probably quite horrifying.
I like to think
It's-
Kesh
yeah.
is not bothered by this at all. Eric's
No,
sudden
Kesh has
reappearance?
seen it. Well, the thing is, Ereq didn't used to do it much. Flesh weaving is always cool. Yeah. Not when you phrase it like that, it's not.
Yeah, actually. Don't make it weird, Bishop Blood.
Please don't call it flesh weaving. So Ereq reappears and does so in full view of everybody who isn't on the couch. You two, I think Julio and Kesh are the ones on the couch. Therefore, you have your back to Ereq. However, his brother can see him and goes, "Oh, Titan's beak! Oh, wow. Hey, bro. I've never seen you
Hello,
do that
Wraith.
before.
No, it's newish.
Hey," and he gets up and goes to hug you.
I hug him back.
Skin stitching, bone sculpting, meat shaping. Yeah, this is the things.
Sounds like something
Flesh bending.
Carl would say.
It's not murder, it's meat shaping.
Meat shaping.
Damn it, man, I'm a blacksmith, not a doctor.
Meat shaping is what they do in those like fitness VHS.
Yeah. I think that's what the lycra is for. Yeah, that's meat shaped. Meat sculpting. Sculpting the meat. You do that. You hug your brother.
My brother.
Let's stop talking about meat while he hugs his brother. Just
You do that. You hug your brother, and
Right.
he's like, "I'm glad to
And
see
then
you."
I
Your friends were
Throw
just...
him into the tar pit.
Yeah.
time to sculpt some meat.
Your friends were just telling me about your adventures. Sounds like you've had an awesome time. Granny's pissed with you. Hey.
Yes, well, that was the intention of my letter, but things have changed since then.
Yeah.
A little.
In what, 3 days?
Yes.
Information's
information
coming
has come to
hard and
light.
fast lately, right?
Yeah, I imagine.
Yes. By the way, are you aware that there is a bowl of blood in the chapel?
What? No.
Yes. There is a
By the
bowl
way,
of blood.
and then talk about blood.
Yeah, there's a bowl of blood in the chapel. I also noticed that the altar has been repurposed somewhat to focus heavily on Titan.
Yeah. It's been quite a bit of. That's the sort of direction the family is taking. Yeah.
Yes. Are you aware that there is a cult that worships Titan almost exclusively and has been kidnapping people and also summoning fire elementals to our plane of existence?
And you can see him doing some fairly rapid mental math about what Kesh told him and what he's told him. He goes, "No, I didn't know about that."
I'm fairly certain that Granny is at the head of it, or at least towards the top.
Okay.
Involved.
Involved. Is that who kidnapped the council members?
No.
What? No. No. Yes. Okay. So the cult has been actively manipulating the council. Some members of the council are members of the cult. Sobel is one of them, and the did you say kidnapped? Is that been what people have been saying?
What I heard, and I'll grant you that I heard this from Granny.
Yes.
That Beta, Mentax, and Viscar were kidnapped by the Wildwood Brigade, is what I heard.
No, that's not what happened. They all left after speaking with us and after we told them exactly what the cult has been up to.
Wait, you spoke to those councilmen and they left.
Yes.
You did.
They were...
the three of you.
There was one other, but yes, we arranged their safe passing.
So you kidnapped
that
them.
sounds like they died. Their safe passage out of the city.
Right. Where have
I
they
may have
gone?
been being a little coy with you, Ray.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure
yeah.
how much Ereq wanted to tell you, but apparently he's just down for everything. So.
Okay, cool. I'm glad he is. This is a lot. Sorry, this is a lot.
Yes.
Blood in the chapel.
Yes.
Like. It's
in a
just
bowl?
like somebody was killed.
No.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, like in a bowl, like people have been willingly sacrificing their blood in service of someone or something.
Right.
But and I look at Julio and Kesh. It's not the same kind of blood. It's not dark, evil, elemental blood. It looks like it is just blood from people.
Not
Which
quite.
is still creepy when you think about it.
Yeah, not the best.
Yes.
Not quite. There is when I said there was a life elemental about it, there is a little bit of actual magic in it, but it's life magic.
Yeah. Yeah. There is
Like,
still
it's not
something
normal
that-
blood. Something's been done to it, but not that. Yeah.
There is still some kind of enchantment on the blood, but it doesn't give me the sense that if I was to drink some, that I would turn into mental.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a thing that's happened.
Right.
Also, Wraith, does the name Fel mean anything to you?
Yes. Granny's got a couple of guards. I think it's this. I think it's a surname. They're twins, and very alike to look at. And yeah, they. I think that's their surname because that's what she calls them.
Yes.
Isn't Fel?
There are 2 Fels currently in guarding grandmother's room. We killed a Fel a few days ago.
Oh wow,
And
they're
didn't-
triplets.
There was at least one other Fel that we're aware of.
Okay.
I don't think they are related.
Don't say quadruplets.
Probs not, because those guys have been here since the wedding, pretty much. Like two days after the wedding, Granny was like, security needs to be beefed up because of what happened at the wedding, which I think is, that's pretty fair, right?
It's a reasonable excuse.
Yeah.
Is there any way to check if any of these Fels are under some sort of illusionary magic to make them appear like somebody else?
There are some ways. I could detect
Just
if
that
there's some kind of magical aura around them.
I can have a look
Odds
through
of there
Mum's
being-
books.
What about mother's books?
Well, she's got a whole bunch of magic books. She's been letting me read them.
Oh. Have you been practicing?
A bit. I'm nowhere near, I'm not avium material.
Oh.
But I can do... And he clicks his finger and he prestidigitates a little flame at the tip of his finger. He's like, basic stuff.
Oh, great.
I've been practicing.
I can do similar stuff.
Cool.
Um,
Because of that tender
how are
training.
you?
Yeah. Look, I'm good. Met a girl.
Okay.
Actually, I think you know her, Sophia. Sophia, they tried to set you up with Sophia.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
But,
yes, I'm aware.
Well, yeah, but she's nice. And yeah, we get along really well. She's nice to me. She doesn't treat me like a kid, which I like, you know. Ereq, how much older than Wraith are you?
Between 3 and 5 years, I would say.
Yeah. So Sophia is your age.
Yeah.
And he's like, I mean, yeah, I know she's not a lot older than me, but yeah, she's a little bit. But yeah, she's really cool. We've had we went to a dance together recently. That was nice. So yeah, that's sort of my big news, and Granny is very okay with that. Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure that Granny would have loved this choice.
Look, I'm not gonna we both know the deal, dude. But I completely respect that you weren't up for it. But I am. I know I've had it explained to me, and I hadn't realized quite how important the family was. And I don't just mean like how in the wood. I mean how important family is. You know, I didn't used to put the same sort of emphasis on it. And Granny sat me down and gave me the why, you know, the way she sees it. And I vibed with it, man. I saw what she meant. I understand the importance of it. I understand why she's so fixated on it. And she is. She's mad about it. And I'm not her level crazy about it, but I get it, right? And I could be happy with Sophia. As could everybody else, by the looks of it. So, why not, you know? Take the easier path for once.
What's that like?
It's nice. It's actually, yeah.
Probably is, actually.
Yes. I do hope that you are happy, that you do find happiness. Whether it's with Sophia or anyone else.
I know you do. I don't want what Mum and Dad are. I want to be a little bit more of an equal partnership, but I think I've got a good founding in that because I'm the Shadowbolt.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I know it's a pipe dream, but
I would just caution you about the expectations around this arrangement.
yeah, valid. So, a bowl of blood's worrying, hey, and this
Have
is
you
sort
been
of
told what we're doing here?
no. Your friends were, as they say, a little coy about it.
Yes,
You're
but
here
don't
to
hold
try
that
and figure
against
out
me.
whether or not Granny is sus or not.
Oh, well, I'm certain that she is heavily involved in a lot of the things that we've been actively fighting against.
Yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily mean we want to do anything horrible to you, Granny. Just that we'd like to change that.
Yes, I'm here because I have hope with that the information that we've newly come across will be enough to, as zealous as grandmother is, that she would be willing to see reason.
Zealous.
I
I've never
have my
met
own
a
pipe dreams.
bigger atheist than Granny. Like, in a world where we know the gods exist, someone less devout.
So, she's not zealous about the Amaranthine, but she is zealous about where she believes her position should be in the world.
Oh, I
and
wouldn't
the
disagree
position
with that one.
of her families.
Yep. But is that such a bad thing?
Depends what she's prepared to do to maintain.
Yeah, it depends who she will have to like push down to get her family on top. You know what I mean?
Make
Right.
me a persuasion check.
All of us, or
Julio and Kesh.
Can
Chris, you're the ones
can
who-
I give inspiration?
Yeah?
can I use my inspiration?
That's a good idea.
I will give.
Oh,
Cash
it got worse.
inspiration. You have
give-
a D6 though.
You have a d6 to add to your 11.
You have a D6 and also you have a +4 from me.
Oh, plus 4?
So that makes it.
Well, from my +2. Sorry,
Plus
+2.
2, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
16. That's
16.
16. All up. He goes... You see
Fuck.
on his face, he's like...
Can I use my inspiration?
No, 16 is
Fine, helpful.
16 is pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, your words not much of an assistance, but yeah, yeah. What Kesh said has. I'm sort of the way I'm counting it, Julio, is that your bardic inspiration was what you said, in addition to
sweet.
what Kesh said, and you can see him thinking. Yeah. Like, he just never really thought about it before. Again, it's privileged white kid. It's just... Like, he's not a bad boy, he's just really never thought about it. It's just never...
a bit sheltered. He's
Never come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's going like... Yeah, okay. Fair enough. So, and you want to find out, exactly how far she's prepared to go, basically. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable assessment of it.
I want to see if I can convince her to see reason.
Right. Cool. Yeah. Like that.
The
Love
problem
that.
is, I think she has her own reason. I don't think she.
Yes.
I've never met the woman, but to me, it sounds like she's very set.
No,
in
she was
her
at the
ways and she's
wedding. You
very
didn't meet her at the
logical.
wedding?
I have not met her in the wedding. Point is, I don't think she is like misguided. She seems very smart and very like calculated.
Yeah.
Yes. She knows exactly what she wants, and she knows
Yeah.
exactly how she can get it.
The question is, what do we do with a person like that? Because I'm always like up for singing some kumbaya and saying like, yay, let's be friends now. But the thing is, like, I don't really think she cares about that.
I suppose
No.
it's a matter of making sure that the potential consequences are understood.
Yes.
So,
It's
can you like lay it out for me exactly what you think is going on? So I can sort of see where you're coming from. You've said a lot of words. You've said cult more than once. You were sort of noticed like about Titan that seemed like important to you. Like not unusual for families to have a specific. Sorry, this is more of a DM note. It's not unusual for families to pay particular note to one particular Amaranthine. Your family did used to give a lot of credence to Gesme, and so Titan is a new direction. But he has, until this point, not really thought about it at all. Like, it's just and now we read from a different book, and that's fine. Like, Gesme was great to us. Now we're going to talk about Titan for a while. Yeah, he's like the Titan thing is pretty recent. Like, I've been being... and he fishes out the book out of his pocket, and he said, I'm reading a lot. And
may I have a look?
You recognize the book. You've read it. And it's not a bad one. It's the foundational stuff. It's like, yeah, what, you know.
It's not the one from the chapel.
No, it is teenage level. Everybody reads this. Like, it's part of a good education. You get to know
Bible
this is
dummies.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the stuff about Titan. This is his aspects. These are his forms. This is what he does. This is why you shouldn't piss him off. Yeah.
Okay. You want me to lay it out? Do you want everything? Because it's a lot.
Well,
It is a lot.
I'm sure it is.
Okay.
What? Give me what.
Sit down.
Tell me what I need to know to be able to see your point of view. I suppose is what I'm asking for. I want to believe you, brother.
Okay. So, the aspects of Titan that this sect, let's call them, is emphasizing aspects of superiority and domination of bird folk above humble folk, which isn't something that I see, and I hold up the book, anywhere in this text.
I'm not all the way through it, but yeah, no, I haven't seen any of that yet.
So I feel that this organization are twisting the words of Titan, first of all. Secondly, several of them that we have come into conflict with have said that they have spoken directly to Titan.
And you pushed them into a pit of tar.
No, that wasn't. That was other people.
Oh.
We'll circle back to the tar pit.
There was a lot of ops everywhere. It's kind of tough to distinguish them.
I give Kesh and Julio
We will talk about this
dirty
later.
looks.
Looks filled with tar.
What?
Yes.
What? We just made conversation.
What? We were just telling your brother about stuff. What?
About all the murders you
Someone's throwing
committed.
stuff. I don't know. You gonna start a fire or what?
Many of them have been seeming to worship an entity called Menzeloth, who we did actually meet ourselves a couple of days ago and killed. And perhaps you don't know this actually, but Astorials generally cannot be killed.
No, yeah, no,
We
I did
killed
know
this
that.
one. Yes.
So it was an hang on, it was an Astorial,
Yes.
and you killed it.
Yes.
Ereq, I feel like we are constructing a story in which we kill everyone we meet, which is not at all how we are.
Well, this is the
really.
first murder that I've mentioned.
Why? That's what you've been up to.
Oh yes, and you say, oh, he's been murdering people.
Just throwing people into pits of tar was. It did come up fairly quickly in the conversation, actually. Like,
Look, I was very clear that they did not die from being pushed into the tar.
but they did die.
That's worse.
That was just for flavor.
And you mentioned-
that was for our enjoyment.
Yeah, you pushed them into tar for fun, more than once in one case.
No. Listen, we're getting off. Let's get back onto the topic of what's relevant is this Astorial that we defeated was working for an Amaranthine.
Yeah, as they usually do.
Yes. Kren.
Oh,
Kren revealed himself to us and
so wait,
revealed...
you've spoken to Kren now.
Yes.
Can you make me a persuasion check?
Yeah, and as you told me, I need to use my inspiration on this.
It's probably a good one to use it on.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Don't fuck it up.
With my -1 persuasion, let's go.
Nice.
Oh,
Bishop
God.
Blood, could you roll me an insight in chat, please? Exclamation mark insight.
Ooh.
Oh, good.
Do I
Painful.
get the little bonus?
Yeah, you get Julio.
I mean, you get a little bonus,
plus
but like
2.
7.
7.
Oh.
What's that?
Bishop
I reckon
Blood
if it's
gets-
actually good at persuading people.
Eh.
I
I
am.
love that Bishop Blood
I'm
rolled
pretty good.
reasonably well for the first time in a while.
Oh no.
He's like,
We
okay,
need you to
so
roll
then you
1.
spoke to the Amaranthine Kren. Sure.
Yes. Yes, and he revealed to us quite plainly, actually, that he had been pretending to be Typhon for the last 2 decades and had been fostering this cult for the purpose of forcing the humble folk to rise up and to be better than the bird folk.
So, this cult's plan is to put the bird folk on top of the humble folk,
Yes.
and in doing so, the humble folk
To
is supposed
subjugate them.
Yeah, but the ultimate master plan of the mastermind behind it is so that the humble folk will get so angry that they'll rebel.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now there is a war brewing. And we've also been told that there are forces beyond this plane amassing to invade.
Looking at
So-
this kid, does it seem like we're losing him?
He
Because
doesn't-
we've thrown so much.
Like I said, it's a lot.
He doesn't believe you.
Do we have any?
You
concrete
lost him at
evidence for
Kren.
us? Yeah. Do we have anything that we actually can show for us, or we just all talk?
He says, "Look, dude, that's a lot, and I want to. It's an awful lot if it's bullshit, and I'll be honest, it sounds like bullshit. But look, I'm not the one you have to convince if that's why you're here.
No.
I'm just warning you that if it sounds like bullshit to me, who hasn't really got a horse in the race, Granny is going to be a harder one to convince."
Well,
That
actually, for us, Granny
Kren-
probably knows some of it.
Well, Granny probably, if what you're saying is true, that Granny probably knows some of it. But from what you're saying, she doesn't know that Kren is the actual super mastermind, and you think that Granny is part of a cult whose goal is to subjugate the humble folk.
Yes.
Okay.
To
I'm
be
not
fair,
gonna say-
I've had that
I'm not going to say I couldn't
belief
see it.
for a long time.
Yeah. I'm not going to say I couldn't see it. It seems like an awful lot of effort when she's basically already got it. I mean, look around. We, the bird folk, live in the rich and fancy places. I've been to all the Heart a couple of times, and most of the nice houses have feathers around them. It
Yes,
feels like
but
a long
There's
way
a
to
huge
travel to
difference.
go to where we already are.
she's not going to be around forever to enforce that status quo.
Sure, that's what Sophia's for.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
can
you
I
reckon
realize
this
that
is-
part of the reason this sounds so crazy is that there's essentially a big double bluff going on.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? In the recent time, you mentioned that Grandma doesn't really want to go to Aldahar. What was her disposition? Like, did she seem like annoyed or tired or triumphant? What would be your read? Because you know her more than we do.
Can I have somebody in chat, Robbie Hoodie or the Time Doctor, roll a ! History?
Can I inspire him? Can I like nudge him
Ooh, yeah.
in my questions?
I will consider.
I want him to get it.
I will consider him bardically inspired for the purposes of this answer. Yep. Lilith got an 8, and Julio, do you want to roll a d6?
Yeah, sure.
Big money.
Does he also add your +2?
He is an ally in
it's a
range.
folder.
It's an ally in
But
range,
it's
so
not
+6.
It's a history check.
Oh, it's not charisma based. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not charisma. But
yeah.
it's a
So
+4.
12. He says, not. She wasn't jubilant or anything like that, but I guess she has been walking around with a bit of an air of satisfaction the last couple of days. Like, I'm just going to answer Bat Espada. Bat Espada, this is the same world, different campaign. So the events are concurrent here, but it is not the same storyline. Different characters. Kesh Glitterweave and Trish Caper are childhood best friends. Trish also hates Ereq and doesn't know Julio at all.
We never met. I so want to meet the
They met at a wedding.
I gotta go. This is my last session.
Get back under the couch.
But the events are concurrent. So this is what's going on in the Humblewood, while the others are over in Strumblewood in Barovia. And Ereq's little brother, Wraith, is answering questions about their granny, who is one of the leaders of a bird cult that is seeking to overthrow and basically downtread all the humble folk in the wood. It's a race war! And we're trying to decide whether or not we want the war part of the race war. Because it's coming if no one does anything about it. He says, she's been a bit, I suppose, satisfied recently. Like, I put it down to, like, she's getting back into public life. Like, I don't think she's up for it for long, but she, you know how she is. She likes bossing people around. I think one last fling sort of thing, like, yeah, why not? That's what I thought it was, but she's been pretty satisfied, I suppose. Pretty hyped. But I would say the Fells looked pretty... Well, animated is the wrong word, because 2 days ago... Yeah, they've a couple of days ago they seemed pretty animated, but they're blank face sort of, they're guards.
Interesting.
Does that answer your question? Josh is checking.
Yeah, sure, kind of. What I'm trying to understand is, I think he is right at the fact that she is established, she's successful. I'm trying to understand what her game would be, because it seems like we're woefully unprepared to actually have a discussion with Grandma. We don't understand her motives at all.
Yeah.
So that's rough for us.
Yeah. He says, look, if you're going to talk to Granny, I think that's the best way to find out.
Yes.
Maybe do it with witnesses around? Like Mum?
With you?
No, female witnesses. Female shadow malts. Either Mum or... I'm struggling to remember Greeky's mum's name, but the sister. The aunt.
Just to be clear,
Hiya.
what exactly do you think will be achieved by having witnesses?
Well, those fell guys are pretty intimidating, even if Granny's not. And they look, I've never liked the look of them. It feels unnecessary. It feels like, just get a big burly servant or something. Why do you need two sneaky? Like, there's dangerous, and then there's that.
Yeah.
Hey, they both have Titan necklaces.
Oh, they
Are they like
else.
are they like weird Titan symbols though? Like not like quite the normal one, just a bit weird.
I noticed that. Did you?
Maybe. I don't like looking at them.
Oh, they're so in the cult. Not that there was any really doubt about that. They're deep in
Yeah.
the cult.
And you killed one already.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is a bit like, are they regenerating themselves? Are they like clones? Are they like just made magic to look like each other? What's going on with that?
Kesh, can I... Josh the DM is suggesting you do that thing you can do.
Yes!
Awareness of bullshit.
That is the official name of the ability.
Bullshit sense. Yeah.
Bullshit sense.
My bullshit sense.
It's tingling. It's tingling real hard.
I believe my bullshit sense is known as my primeval awareness.
That's the one.
Primeval bullshit awareness.
Do you
I was
want to...
like, wait, hang on. I have a thing I can do. Give me a second. I just need to.
Oh
zone
yeah.
out.
You have your thing. Okay.
That bullshit thing you can do.
Yeah, that thing I do, and then I'll tell you what's hanging around.
Okay.
And I just kind of take a step away and like center myself, and I will cast primeval awareness.
What does it look like? Is there any physical change, anything visual that the audience could see, or is it just Kesh just closes her eyes and sort of meditates?
I suppose I become slightly unnaturally still,
Uh-huh. Cool, yeah.
but other than that, nothing really.
I would say Ereq has encountered this before. He's seen it before. Julio has not seen... he's seen this been done before, but that was before his magical awareness was awakened. So, Julio, for the first time, you are feeling this... the buffeting of an ethereal wind.
Poetic.
It's just the wafting of a wind that isn't there. And Ereq, you're standing next to your brother. You notice that he sort of sways with it a little as well, like he can sense it too, as Kesh does this boom, and it's like one radar pulse sort of goes out from Kesh, and yeah, Kesh, it's within 1 kilometer or 1 mile, isn't it?
It's 1 mile, 6 if I'm in my favorite terrain, which I don't
You
think
are,
where we
technically.
are counts.
I mean, you're in a
Okay.
basement, but in a forest. The vast majority of the land within 6 miles is forest.
Forest. Okay, it's 6 miles then.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're technically in a town. Technically.
And it's elementals, fae, fiends, undead, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead, right?
Yes.
Maybe aberrations?
Celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead.
And dragons. Interesting. Okay.
Doesn't reveal creature's location or number.
No. Just doesn't or number. Interesting. Okay. Within 6
it's not
miles.
the super specific one
No,
where
no,
you get the
no.
numbers of everything. That's
No.
different.
But it is very broad range. Within 6 miles, there are fae. There are definitely elementals. Obviously, you knew this. There's one in the room. But there is undead.
Oh dear.
There are a few aberrations, but that's not what you're concerned about. Within 6 miles, that doesn't shock you. You're in a forest.
DM, I have a lore question, which I may or may not know the answer to, but in a world where there are death elementals,
Yes.
is there any overlap between them and undead?
A death elemental would be an undead.
Yeah.
In a similar way, a life elemental would normally register as Fey.
Fey or celestial?
Fey.
Okay.
No, Celestials are something different.
Okay. Hey, Kesh, what bullshit did you sense?
There are. Hang on. What was the one I was concerned about?
There are Fey, aberrations,
Undead.
elementals, and undead.
There are aberrations.
That's not surprising.
That's okay.
Oh no, sorry. Sorry, my brain is
Undead.
so... Undead. Not aberrations. Don't care about the aberrations. There are undead.
Here.
Which, given that we've already killed this guy,
That tracks.
kind of sense.
And there's 2 of him now.
Yeah.
Like, guys,
So-
I'm gonna be straight with you. I may not believe you about everything, because talking to an Amaranthine is fairly whew, but you know, you've been moving in some cool circles. Why not? Sure, fuck it. I'll go with it for now. But the undead thing's worrying, and those guys do freak me out. Do you know
Yeah, there's
where
a good
or how
chance
many?
They're not technically alive. I can't tell you how many there are, but given that there's a pair of them, I'd put some wagers on there being at least 2 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
On the bright side, I won't feel bad about killing them if they're already technically dead.
Yes, Brendan.
We have discussed previously that I have heard stories about Bobrovia, and Strahd and some of the undead bullshit there.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to cross-reference that information in my brain with my experience of having dealt with the last fell that we killed.
Yeah.
Do I have any sense? Like, that fell seemed like it in full control of its senses and everything, and was commanding other people, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got no undead vibe off that one. There was a degree of death magic in the blood, in the nasty blood stuff, but the fell itself was very much in full control.
Okay. Am I aware that there are different types of undead and some that do have full control of their senses, or don't know?
You would be aware of that, broadly speaking, yes. That, for example, at the Avium, which you did not attend, but you know of the place. You know that they have skeletal servants there. So reanimated skeletons with limited to no self-awareness that are basically just servitors. And yeah, that's their function. And that would be the limit of your experience with it in the Humblewood.
Yeah.
Necromancy and undeath. It's very much not okay to practice on the material plane. Legally and religiously, spiritually, morally, chemically. Bishop Blood asks about he says, right, undead and Fey are solved. What about aberrations? We're apparently not worried about them. Are they flamingos? No. So a lot of the wildlife in the Humblewood we have established are bugs. Bugs have taken most of the normal places in the food chain. They're just larger. However, there is some mammalian life, mostly predators. However, they are you see like there's rock lions, like mountain lions, but that actually have rock in them, and they are aberrations. So most of the predators within the wood would qualify as either an elemental or an aberration.
Basically, someone needs to take place of the animals that we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
That differs slightly from the lore in the book because those creatures are in the book and they are beasts. I qualify them as aberrations because they ain't beasts. Don't look like beasts to me. They're like, if an owlbear is an aberration, then these things are aberrations.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
But Alba is a monster, no?
Yeah, it's a kind of monster, but monster isn't a category. It's beast or aberration, which is why the whole thing about the D&D movie and the druid turning into an owlbear shouldn't technically be able to because it's not a beast.
There was an edition where you could do that, though.
Yeah.
Are monsters not a category? I thought they were.
No, it's a creature type. Monstrosities. It's a creature type. It's a creature, or a monster, or a being, or it is a term, but it's not a medium undead, medium. There is no medium monster.
Realized we are fucking nerds.
Yeah. Rules, lawyering.
Yeah, discussing this. Yeah.
Yeah. Reasonably, I'm pretty damn sure that they're aberrations.
Okay.
Actually, we have aberrations.
I don't wear glasses.
I retain
Sure.
so little lore, like rule stuff, that you could probably tell me anything. I'll just go, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mordenkainen is my favorite dog.
I love his houses. Cool. So yeah, you have certainly opened Wraith's mind here. He says, look, I don't know
Listen.
if I want to stand next to you when you ask Granny these questions.
I
But
wouldn't want
if
you
To be
there
fair,
either.
I don't really want to stand next to her while we ask these questions.
neither.
But, you know,
I want to stay here with you in the jerk-off room.
what?
What?
Never mind. Let's go back on track.
And he says, but, and let me finish my sentence, but I will if you ask me to.
No. I appreciate that, but this is a conversation for Granny, and I wouldn't want to endanger you physically or in terms of your status and well-being within the family.
I suppose another way of putting it is we're probably going to start some shit, and we don't want to drag you into it.
I to be clear, I don't intend to attack grandmother at all.
Good.
Oh, good.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Fells, one way or another, attack us.
Yeah, maybe
and
don't
we're
tell them
forced
you
to
killed their
defend
brother.
ourselves.
No, we'll keep that.
I suspect
for
they already
ourselves.
know, to be fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
But this is something that I think is best for us to do in the morning. I intend for us to come in through the front gate and request an audience with her, which I feel that she would be inclined to accept.
Probably.
out of curiosity, if nothing else.
Yeah, more than anything
Yes.
else.
And
If you're right, she probably knows a bit about what you guys have been up to.
Yes.
Hey,
But
Ereq, are you still gonna want your mom in there, or you don't want her to be there?
Have you seen her?
I
Spoken
have
to her?
seen her. I haven't spoken to her. How is she?
Phasian is... Can you, when you say how is she, can you roll me a persuasion check?
Yep. soon as my app loads. Do I happen to get advantage on this?
You are close to Julio.
You
So
have a plus two,
you get
and
the
You
buff.
also have your own inspiration.
You
as I
do.
see on the
You did
overlay.
have.
Yeah,
You
I'm
did.
going to use that
Well,
because didn't I get? I got double inspiration, right?
you did have
Because
double
the-
inspiration. Just roll it once, see how you do. But yeah, you can.
Okay. Yeah, fair. All right. Persuasion. Oh, that's a
18.
16 plus 2, 18.
Yeah. You can roll inspiration. I wouldn't bother. 17 on the
No.
dice is pretty decent. Yeah, he goes. Phasian told me she's not got long. She.
That's the opposite of what he told her.
Yeah, he's not telling them.
Why?
Because he hopes he's wrong. And there's very little that can be done. And telling her won't make her better. As he explained it to me. He told me because he felt he should tell someone. He asked me whether or not I thought he should tell Granny. I said probably. He did. So she knows. Which is why the whole thing with Sophia has probably been put on the sort of front foot. Because I don't think Granny wants Greeky's wife to...
Miriam.
Which is Miriam, because she's lovely, but she's in the best way possible. She's no Shadow Malhay. She's a
Which I think
sweetheart,
was
but
by design.
I think definitely. But like, she's perfect for Greeky. But Greeky and she are not perfect for this. This is no. It's not. Basically, I think they'd be great, but Granny does not agree. So I'm her last chance. Which is nice. It does give me a slightly higher bargaining position, you know? I might actually get a word in edgewise sometimes. I'm not going to be looking for equal footing, but, you know. I have some...
Speaking of bargaining, how would you feel? I feel like there's probably going to be some tense negotiations occurring tomorrow morning. How would you feel if she even accepted it, if I offered to step back into the family and marry?
Wow.
It's not
Look,
something I want to do,
I know.
But I don't want to do that if you don't want that. I understand what that would take from you.
It would give me back so much more, though. You took it from me when you left, and then Greeky, like, neither of you did it deliberately or 100% it was just you, but you and Greeky, your actions together have pretty much left me as the only option.
No.
And no one's making me. No one can make me. But I'd have to do what you did, or what Greeky did. And I think even if I did what Greeky did, I'd struggle to find someone less suited to Granny's sensibilities than Miriam. And again, I like Miriam. She's lovely and perfect for Greeky, and just a genuinely nice human being. A genuinely nice bird, which is why she's not right for it.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that Sophia isn't. She's just a little bit harder, you know. But so don't you worry about that, Broseph.
Oh God!
I told you to stop calling me that.
Gross.
Like, dude, if that's the key to resolve this peacefully, I'm happy to walk away. You're even welcome to Sophia. I haven't gone there yet, so you know, wouldn't be weird.
Not for you.
TMI.
Respectfully, I disagree.
Great.
I would
Awesome.
100% be weird.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I discuss something? And you can tell me both to fuck off, but what is wrong with your mom?
She's dying.
She's very sick.
In what way?
A wasting illness.
There are clerics.
Yeah, you think they haven't had the best? The high cleric of Alderheart has been to see her. It's not something magic can fix. Well,
we have actually been told that there is something that may be able to cure her. Which is not on this plane.
Oh, okay. That's not what I was told. As in, I was told about one that can, but it is on this plane. It's just really hard to get. It's not here. It's actually like almost further away than another plane. It's in a place called Anvil's Port.
Yes.
Anvil's Rest. Of which, Julio, you know, because you've been to. It is a 2-month sail.
Okay.
And
she doesn't have 2 months.
She might have 4. Like, it's a 2-month there and back. So, 4 months there and back. She might survive that, but it's more that... I mean, one can teleport, but...
Hey, Kovac!
Oh... that'd drain him. He'd do it too. Yeah, he says, no, Phasian told me about this drug that he's heard about in Anvil's Rest. Has to be made there, apparently. Like, it can't be, you can't harvest it then ship it. It has to be done there. And it's got a very short shelf life, but it could work. But if there's something on the plane of another plane, that sounds terrifying and dangerous, but is that an option? You guys do elemental stuff?
We don't hop planes very often.
Ereq's done it.
Well, we have, yeah.
Once, accidentally.
Yeah, you nearly died.
Yeah.
Are you speaking of the elemental plane of life?
Yes. That's. I went to the plane of fire, but which I would not recommend for most people. But yes, Kovacs Ravanya mentioned the elemental plane of life. And we know people who are working on planar travel, so it's within the realm of possibility.
The reason I'm asking about your mom and all of that is because, again, I don't know the grandma. However, it seems to be that her only prerogative is family. So if we are able to give her things that she cannot achieve by brute force, maybe that's the thing that she will take into account in that negotiation. Perhaps you getting back into the family if you want to. Perhaps your mom getting better. I don't think she will respond to threats of any kind.
No. Well, she will, but it's not in a way you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon it's a valid point. If you can save Mum, that would secure her dynasty. Because that's what she's worried about.
Life.
Yes.
Plus, it's Mum, I know she wasn't the warmest, but we like Mum, don't we? We like Mum?
Yes. Yes.
That was a question? Okay. That's a weird family.
It's sort of a question.
Yeah, welcome
Mum's
to our family.
Mum's not the warmest, but she's all right. I know, and she was probably a little bit harder with Ereq than me. Second son, woo! But there are pros and cons.
Yeah. We're also on a pretty good standing with the Alderheart. You can't tell by me, but I'm actually tree pope. So, and that Alderheart is big elemental energy, big life elemental energy, So I can't say that I'm a healer of that capacity, but I feel like we have an in with life elemental plane, you know? There is a foothold
Yes.
there.
And I should be specific, Wraith, when Julio... This is Julio, by the way. I assume
We've met.
we've met.
Yeah.
Good.
I thought he was a
Um,
couch, but it turns out he wasn't going to stab me in the cloaca.
It's just a little joke.
Good.
It was like when my breathing slowed down, it was objectively funny.
Anyway, what Julio is not referring to Older Heart as in the city, as in the seat of all of this. Julio is referring to literally the Older Heart as...
As in, you've spoken to the tree.
Just wanted to specify.
Cool.
Tree. I'm trying to like make some like chants and gestures happen for my religion. Is that something? The tree.
It is now.
That tree.
The tree.
The tree.
The tree.
This has follow the gourd energy.
Yeah. I was thinking the
Julio,
claw.
do some of your
The
things.
claw.
You can do things.
What things?
Do your,
What things?
you know, your...
He was doing a lot of things before.
I make.
I thought he was dancing.
I flick an ember onto the floor, and a root shoots up. A plant starts to spring to life. You know, you can do your things. Do your things.
Okay. I shimmy a little bit, and my my mantle of flowers.
See, dancing.
Of the flowers starts like opening up and have like, all these little pale flowers from the altar heart just open up.
Pollen just sort of starts sprinkling down around you.
Sorry.
The flowers open up and do jazz hands.
This is my first time trying to show people that I'm tree pope. It was kind of on the down low all this time.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you told me about this term, tree pope?
I
Maybe
don't
we
know.
need
It's
to-
I
kind
thought
of...
the term was a joke. I didn't think we were going to use it in actual game canon.
No.
But
I
apparently,
didn't think it was going to be canon, but I mean, it
Well,
suits
we can
Julio.
workshop
Like,
it. We can
pope is
workshop
not a
it. We
term.
haven't had like a big presentation to the people yet, so we can figure something out.
Right.
Point being,
Your branding. Yeah.
branding aside, if we have you and
Woodbridge.
mom and our standing with all the heart on the same kind of part of the scale, perhaps this will override her judgment on the issue.
I have a favor to ask. Maybe in payment or like repaying me for being totally cool with you kidnapping me for like an hour.
Technically didn't kidnap you.
Well, but taking me hostage in my own
Technically didn't
room.
hold you hostage.
You said me leaving would be you locked the door and asked me not to leave.
What's your favorite?
I asked you not to leave. I didn't say you couldn't.
I got the strong
Right.
impression that I would be
What can we
injured if
do?
I tried to. If everything works out and you don't need to. If you leave here and Mum's still sick, could you go and see her, Julio?
I mean,
Because
yes.
I'm worried about her. Probably more worried than Dad is. Because Phasian's telling Dad that he's getting better. Because Dad would destroy him. Because since you and I grew up, Mum's his literal reason for being here. And I know it's weird, but I think he actually loves her.
Yeah.
And I love Dad. And Mum. And if you are in with a life elemental tree, maybe you've got something that Phasian doesn't.
Okay, right. I'm gonna be super honest with you. I don't know how any of it works. It just kind of worked out that way, and
That's kind of what I'm looking
believe
for. I don't know how it works
Yeah.
either, and I'm hoping it works out that way.
Okay, if we don't get
you don't
killed,
you don't have to promise anything. You can't promise anything, but why not?
yes,
Try.
I would absolutely want to try.
Thanks. Thank you.
Can I ask a favor?
Sure.
Keep our presence a secret until we present ourselves tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you going to stay here tonight?
No.
Do you want me to bring you some
No.
food down? Like, you can...
I looked to the other two. I mean, I was planning on breaking back out and presenting ourselves at the front gate.
Well, you can still do that, but you don't have to pay for... You don't have to... It's quite late.
Maybe you'd
Like
want
you
to
two
spend
think.
any time in your room.
You can go back. You can go to the town, go back to the inn or whatever. But like, I'll leave you guys to it. I've got a bit to process.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll stay out of your hair. I'll stay out of the business, and I can keep people away if you like. I'll leave instructions to. I'll tell the servants that it's a bit of a mess and I want to deal with it. Like I'm in the middle of something.
Yes, that would be good.
I'll wink.
Don't.
But
no,
I can-
What? No.
I can bring food down if you like. Or have some scent. Just leave it outside the door. I'm in there all night, and I won't be. I'll be in my room.
What do you think, Kesh?
Or you can leave. Like either way, you can go back, go to the pub, have a drink. Like,
I feel like you would be more relaxed if we left.
As relaxed as I could be, yes. Yes.
All right.
Thank you for the offer, but yes, there's a lot for us to still process as well.
cool. All right. Well, will you, one way or the other, will you say goodbye before you head off? As in tomorrow,
If-
not today.
If we are able to.
Okay. Yeah. No, obviously.
Oh, by the way, Wraith, if all works out and we're like cool, and your mom is cool, and your grandma is cool, and you and Sophia, let's just decide to like get married. Inviting people is kind of nice, and we're like cool.
I mean, yeah. If you guys
So-
are, well, obviously. I mean, if the family's cool, then sure, absolutely. Like, yeah, you're on the list. I'd invite anybody who didn't stab me through a chair.
That's a low bar. I'm glad I cleared
Yeah.
it.
And we
Look, if you
promise not to
save-
kidnap your wife.
Tell you what, let's make that the trade. You talk to mum, you help my mum out. I'll invite you to my wedding.
Nice.
Done.
That seems fair.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna go. So I don't know that you're here. No one's a wink. All right.
You didn't see
can I-
anything.
Can I suggest, Ray,
Read my
you
fun
go
book.
to the chapel to pray and see perhaps what is on the altar?
Yeah, I might do that. I mean, I believe you about that, man. It's the god shit that's hard, right?
I know. I know.
Like, that's a big thing to lie about if it's not there. Though you could have planted it yourself, but why would you? Also, how can you turn into a bug?
Tender things.
Okay. Wow, how is that firefighting? Never mind. All right, cool.
All
right.
Don't even ask me about firefighting.
Yeah.
I think I just scared the dog.
Because I heard... Anyway, sorry, we'll catch up later.
There's more. Yes.
I want to ask you
There's
about
so much,
the
Rafe. You have no idea.
the big war thing, the big fight. Were you involved with the big war with the elementals outside outside Alderheart, 3 months ago?
Yes. Yeah. Well, we helped with the cleanup.
Kesh actually fought.
I was there. I stabbed some things.
Oh, good. Good for you.
Cool. All right. Cool.
We can talk about that later.
Oh, yeah. I'm just like, oh, good, my brother was not in a war. I'm glad. All right. But one of his friends was. Okay, also cool. All right, well, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe.
It's been good to see you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice to meet you, Ray.
And he's already shaken Julio's hand. He goes to shake Kesh's, and then he hugs Ereq. And it's longer and warmer than it was the first time.
Oh.
It's a genuine, oh, fuck, I'm glad to see you. A lot's happened. There's a lot that's still up in the air, but it's just been good to see you. And then he goes. And I think we'll leave it there. Kesh, you level
Familiar
up.
bonding achieved. Yay!
Cash level up.
Yay.
From the from that beginning bit was the ching over the edge.
My successful, mostly lying.
I really enjoyed it. Your cherry picking of the truth was really good.
I
yeah.
didn't bullshit too much.
Yeah.
It was just a bit coy.
Well, splendid, guys. Thank you so much for playing. And I think that sort of led us nicely into favorite moments, and I've already kind of said my favorite, Karen, so let's continue. Chat, please tell us your favorite moments in chat. We'd love to hear them. Yeah. Give me a wedding, damn it. Yeah, we'll get to Julio.
I loved Kesh saying her first words to the boys, "Don't panic," and then he immediately panicked. So it's funny.
Like I said, don't panic.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, as I say, your cherry picking of details so that you didn't give him the full information, but you gave him a cogent story. A cogent and believable, but not 100% accurate version of events. Cherry-picked out all the bits that could be bad, could be misinterpreted, and therefore you lied to him. But you lied to him about true stuff. Was the interest was really good, and telling him about the tar was great.
That's my moment that I wrote was, of all the people, it was fucking Kesh who said, "Let me tell you about the tar pit."
Just
And
too good an
I-
opportunity to slide past.
I was cringing the entire time. Like, any goodwill that my brother had towards any of us is sinking into this pit of tar.
It's like, I assure you it was justified.
Yeah.
That is called bonding, and
Yeah.
we did it purposefully and strategically.
Yes, you
Actually,
did.
I think we were
Yeah.
a bit annoyed about it at the time. But time has healed that wound and made it a fun anecdote.
Are you sure? Because it seems like you're still holding it against me. It was very funny. It was that moment when two people that you're close to but know very different sides of you start talking about you. Of like, this is
Yeah.
stuff that I didn't want either of you to know about me,
Yeah.
and now you're sharing it all.
Yeah, when two
Your
old friends
two
who've never met.
girlfriends who don't know about each other have
Yeah.
met and are comparing notes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Two exes, and you're at a wedding with a third.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
you guys can shut the fuck up in her hearing, okay? We are not doing this today. This is someone else's wedding, not ours. No scenes. Yeah, that was solid work. Karen, favorite self?
I was quite proud of being able to close the door. Like, just acing my stealth roll for locking him in. I was fully prepared to flub that. And I just aced it. I'm like, wow, I was not expecting that to work.
Bishop Blood says Kesh doing the primeval awareness was very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that skill I have that I forget.
Yeah. I also quite liked your physical acting. Getting your tail in. Dive behind the door was cute. Cool. Alrighty. Splendid. Well,
Holding myself behind the door.
we need a D3 in chat to determine who goes next. I just sort of inadvertently started talking about Karen. So an exclamation mark roll space the number 3, please. Tick Gam's Glitterweave. Oh, it's a 1. We're talking about me. Favorite DM moments.
Hey.
Freaking sending Rafe down into the bloody room
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
as
That's
if we
good.
were going to hang out there undetected. You
No.
sneaky.
Yes. That was my favorite thing was how Wraith was represented was very cool. I purposely underwrote him when I wrote my backstory because I wanted to leave it ambiguous for Josh to decide. And yeah, it was very cool. It was nice getting to meet my brother.
Yeah.
I would agree. Like I think this is something I think I say this every week. But one of my favorite things is Josh's characterization of NPCs, because it's always like it feels very real, and the person is not like a caricature of anyone. It's just he's not as like intellectually savvy like Ereq, but he's he has his values. He's he has his family. He has his faults, and he seems like someone who you can sympathize with. Like NPCs don't have to be all good or all evil, but you can always like tell that they have their own point of view, and I really like that.
Thank you.
The kind of characterization of him is like a sheltered rich kid.
Yeah, a little, maybe not as like bright as Ereq, but he has a good heart,
Yeah.
Like he's not a bad person. He's just hasn't been
You did
exposed to a lot of
privilege
things.
very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drawing something from my own experience. Like when you went learning for the first time how privileged you have been, is a hell of a thing. And I think my favorite me moment was there was just a couple of little bits about Wraith's curse of choice was Titan's beak. Great Titan's beak, Batman. Was just a little he swears by Titan. That's interesting. Like just putting the little bits in, little breadcrumbs, maybe leading you off in the wrong direction. Maybe he's a giant red herring. I don't know. But I also liked his request of Julio at the end. The reveal that his mum is not okay, and if you can help her, that would be great. I would like that because I actually like my mum and my dad. In fact, saying the words "I love my dad" and mum in a family where that's not necessarily super common is I thought that was really quite nice. It's not porn. That would be too easy. It's a scripture. Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much. Alrighty. A D2 in chat, please. For Julio and Ereq. Let us find out. A 2. It's Brendan. Favorite Ereq moment.
Ereq being extremely peeved at us, like spilling the beans about his tar escapades. He's like, "You guys, I hate you. Shut the fuck up."
Tar burning in his eyes.
Ereq just totally being like, "What if I came back to the family and got married?" Like,
yeah,
whoa,
that
what?
is a big offer. I did not see that coming. I hadn't thought of that as my favorite moment,
Like
but actually
Kesh
it might be.
internally going, "I'm not freaking letting you do that, man.
I
What the hell?
need you.
Friends don't let friends marry into weird family shit."
Need that on a poster somewhere. That's merch. Friends don't let friends.
Friends.
I think I'm going to agree with Bishop Ladd. So we met Kren, as if that would be believable.
Yeah.
Why do you think I didn't mention that I'd also met Hap? Like,
yeah. Don't do that. But yeah, I think my favorite moment would be the way you laid it all out. You're like, okay, you want to know? Fuck it, let's do it. And yeah, I don't like to give favorite moments to the dice, but the double fail, the advantage fail on that convincing check, was very good. He also rolled a 19 on the dice
It kind of tracks though. Like, why would you believe that?
No, it's like this. It's not completely beyond the realms of possibility. It is known that amaranthites do occasionally walk the earth, but it's just like, you know how insane what you're saying sounds, right? And
There was a combo of weirdness there.
that is partially the point that Kren was getting at. Like, he's like, this is so stupidly convoluted, no one would believe it even if it was true, which it is. Like, it's a brilliant evil plan. I'm very proud of it.
This is why I'm glad you have no real world power, John.
It's such a brilliant plan. No one would believe it, but it's working very well. The minor reference
That's
to
why
the
I
War
would
of the Plane of
actively
Air.
sabotage any attempts by you to enter politics.
Like, exactly like what my mother has promised to do with my father as well. And for similar reasons. Neither of us can be trusted with real power. The minor reference to the War on the Plane of Air was also an interesting one. It's just like, you're like, no, I shouldn't even mention that. Let's not get into that shit because, wow, he's not going to... If he's already struggling with belief here, But
like, we haven't even got to the really crazy shit part yet.
You managed to turn him around. He still doesn't believe you 100%, but there you've sown the doubt, the seeds of doubt. You've incepted him enough now that he is open to the idea. But this was the most receptive audience you would get here, so interesting. But yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Favorite self?
Yeah, my favorite self was probably the same of just the laying it all out. It was actually really good not having to do anything for the first hour of the thing, because it gave me a really good opportunity to learn who Wraith was. And to learn about his disposition and stuff, and it really shaped the way that I came in to approach conversation with him. And allowed me to do so in a way that I could demonstrate familiarity and not try to feel my way through the conversation. So I had already determined that I was gonna lay out a lot, but I wasn't intending to talk about any of the god stuff. And then he asked for it. He said, "Tell me everything."
I want to believe you. Yeah.
Okay, here it is.
Yep.
So yeah, that approach to conversation with him of, I do love how coy Kesh and Julio were with him, and I think it was appropriate for me to step up from that and be like, okay, they're obviously being coy because they don't want to say anything that I don't want you to know, so let me tell you everything.
Yeah, I don't want to not be coy and then you come in and it's like, how dare you talk to my brother like that?
Yeah, dead set. And I've hated it, and I've been in a couple of situations where I've been viewed as the blabbermouth player. When everybody else is like, don't tell him that. I'm like, why the fuck not? We're gonna kill him. Why do you tell him our names? I'm like, because I'm about to stab him in the face. I'm using it as a means of getting closer. It's like, no, it's fine. Hey, I'm this, and this is my friends, and kill! That's why. Like, why are you killing him? Because he's seen our faces. We're the only people who look like this. We're very outlandish. Telling him our names gives him nothing we haven't already given him. How many other baby dragons are sitting on people's shoulders?
That's one of the benefits to this party, actually, is we're fairly nondescript.
Yeah.
Apart from the fire elemental and the toupee.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Julio is the one that sticks out of the three of you.
Which is surprising.
Yeah. Speaking of Julio, it's favorite Daria moments. It has been rolled, and therefore it must be so. The jerk-off worm? What? Bitch of blood. Yes, exactly. That was funny.
The amazing attempt at sign language to communicate with me behind Rave's back.
Daria, in a session that was fairly, like, there was some levity in it, but it was a fairly serious session. You play and I don't want to. I don't like the term comic relief because that's not what you played. But you played for levity in the scenes that otherwise would not have had very much. And you are extremely good at finding that balance. And I think it's an instinctive thing or a deliberate thing. I don't know, but it feels to me like it is a very instinctive thing for me. You find exactly the right level, and Julio is always what he needs to be in those situations, and it's really excellent live role playing. Well done.
Thank you.
Hey, so I'm kind of like the tree pope. Yeah, the casual man's like the older heart and I are like this, man.
Kind of buds, kind of bros.
Don't want to brag or anything.
That was
but I'm
mine.
tree pope.
That was my favorite Dario moment. Was Julio just casually saying in canon, "So I'm tree pope." Like, excuse me?
I think to make sense
Ereq
of
had
it,
some feelings about that.
Pope would be a religious leader in other parts of the world that Julio has visited. It is, however, not a term that means anything in the Humblewood. So everyone's like, what the hell is a pope? And it's like, oh, it's a religious leader. And like, then why do you say that? It's a cult leader. Oh, for fuck's sake, another cult.
But a
cult
better
leader
one.
But this one, with the tree.
Don't go in your cult. Join our better cult.
This one's based, yeah.
It's Poggy.
Poggy.
We've got the good vibes.
I also want to hats off to the potential plan, and I'm not sure whose it was. It felt like a sort of group effort, but I think it was a Daria thing, of the what if we managed to get to the plane of life and find the Winterblossom, which may be able to help your mum. That, and I was like, ooh, I had not considered that as a potential direction for this story to go, but that is a potential solution to this problem. And a good
it's kind of like a double whammy.
Yeah.
Because it is solution to this, and also it seems like we're already gonna be like bouncing to other planes and trying to figure shit out as to like what's connected to what.
Yeah.
Getting some allies from like the plane of life would be pretty pog if other planes are like, yeah, we're gonna fuck that shit up.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's like, hey, interplanet beings, would you like to help us? We
Hello,
promise we're
Interpellinar
nice.
beings. I am also Interpellinar being. But do you want to go skateboards? Daria, favorite self. And have we had a Brendan one?
Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite
I think
was the tree boat.
Ah, yes, of course.
My favorite self, I think it would be just Julio trying his best in this situation to like prepare for like the talk with Grandma, because he's the least aware of what's going on. But what I like about Julio and how he's like constructed as a character is that he doesn't really understand big scale things, but he understands small scale very well.
Yeah.
And he can like understand the reasoning for the grandma for like family first and fuck everything else, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and he's building his entire approach to this based on, okay, how we can use that, her tether to the family, essentially.
And it's actually a better way of approaching it than from the cult, because actually she doesn't give a shit about the cult.
And also like that's kind of the reason why whenever we talk about big things, about like God shit, Julio is very much like, okay, I don't get this, but I understand this like minuscule part of it, which is I think I like it. It's kind of like he's of the people.
Yeah. I actually definitely appreciate that in character too, because it's my family and I'm so in it. It was really helpful to have an outside perspective of like, okay, let's break it down. Let's figure out what it is that she wants.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a very cool contribution.
Poggy.
Sometimes it takes someone from the outside to see what's.
Yeah. What's fucked?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Glorious. Well, splendid. Guys, thank you so much for playing with me this evening. It's been good to be back in the wood. I will be back in the wood tomorrow morning for a little bit more Humblewood. This is set 15 years in the past of this world. Well, 12, 15 years. I'm giving a non-specific time because I'm actually not sure how old Smoothie is. But yeah, he is a little bit back in time. we are going to be learning about Smoothie's granddad, Biggin, played by the wonderful Jack Squarepeg. We will also be having Heath, the Antipodean D20, and Dragonkear, and the Knight Geo from Ozquest will be joining me as well. Along with a couple of other people I have not yet met, but I'm excited to. The 30th through 35th player characters in this world. It's getting crazy, and
growing.
The 20th through 24th players in this world as well, because only Jack has played here before. Very exciting stuff, very exciting times over on Meeples and Dragons at, I want to say 10 a.m., Karen? That's correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
First session is 10 a.m. Australian Western Standard Time, so GMT plus 8.
Splendid. Come and join us over there for some charity fundraising towards the Black Dog Institute. The Black Dog Institute or Black Dog Foundation, one or the other. But they're very great people. They're all about teen mental health. It's a very important subject and one that is quite dear to my heart, because I didn't have very good mental health when I was a teen, or now. So we should go away from here now because we've been streaming for a gosh darn while. But before
wait. Yeah. Hit points. Hit points.
Oh, we do.
Ooh, right.
Well, do you want to do it now, or should we do it? No, let's do it now. Fuck it. Let's do it. We'll do it live. Karen and Brendan have now both leveled up, so we need a couple of people to roll some hit points in chat, please. Karen has a D10 because unless she's taking a level in something else. Sticking with Pure Blood Ranger. Okay. Oh me, oh my. So we need 2 people to roll for Karen and 2 people to roll for Ereq. Who for Brendan? Brendan, who would you like? You leveled up first.
I did want Spinner, but I don't think Spinner's still around. And we haven't seen from many people in a while, so I don't know if there's anyone other than Bishop Blood around. But
Lilith
Bishop Blood
still around.
If Lilith is still around, Lilith gave me the extra inspiration. So
Lilith, if you're still here, chuck it up. So we need
also,
a D8 for
Bishop
Ereq.
Blood was doing incredibly out of character well on the rolls today, if I remember correctly.
yes.
Above
This is
average
sus.
is good. Above average is what we want. Gulps. Go on then, Bishop Blood. You roll it.
Yeah.
Oh, Siri, don't.
A 5. That's on a D10.
Did a D8,
Yeah,
Bishop.
D8 for me as a druid.
Sorry, the dog is digging her feet into me. Could you sit, please?
Classic pet move.
I'm not going to
We
say
gave
the
you a
one.
chance. You blew it. You blew it.
No,
Shut the bed.
that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing as
I don't think there's anyone else around.
there is, I think it's just because we've lost a lot of people because of the Jaspers week, so that's okay. Why don't we do it next week when we have a few more peeps around?
Sure. Okay.
You guys will have a long rest, and we can do it all then.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's do that. Saved. Yes, Bishop Blood. Don't worry, we're not going to blame you for shit.
This never happened.
Guys, I'm being mugged.
I don't even remember it. It's a shame we're not.
And
filming
look,
it.
the good thing is that Ereq gets to stay on 69 hit points for another week.
Yeah.
True
Rather than adding
and
one
nice.
to it and making it that even 70. Gross.
Yeah.
Gross, hate it.
Yeah, I've been redeemed. Yes. Alrighty. Well, we will go away from here now. But guys, who the absolute heck are all of you? Brendan, who the heck are you?
I'm Brendan.
That's not the command I need. That was
Cool.
Wooden Forge. Brendan, Wooden Forge make amazing handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories like this. It's extremely lovely stuff. You should check it out. woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. That's the link I put in chat. Brendan, who the heck are you?
Cool. I am not an owner of any Wooden Forge goods yet.
We need to fix that for you, Brendan.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah. I cannot fix it for myself due to unemployment, but
Happen to know his birthday.
what I'm going to be doing as soon as we get off is play some more Breath of the Wild nuts and bolts.
Nice. Cool.
Is that the game?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. That's definitely
You
the game.
build Ganondorf a spaceship.
Yeah. I mean, there are rockets in the game. You build
Mhm.
functioning cars.
I
It
saw
would not.
I saw a giant
With a pin.
statue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, a
we all
flamethrower
think. I think
penis.
we all saw the pin. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There are working mechs that you
Wow.
like literally ride. Yeah, it's so. All that having been said, it wouldn't surprise me if you do have to build a rocket to go into space to fight Ganon.
Karen, who the heck are you?
Face Ganon. He's also hot. Sorry.
Are
go
you
on.
going to go to Cannon and face space, or the other way around? I don't know. It's very tired.
I'm very. I'm.
Couldn't possibly. I'm very very busy.
Hi, I'm Karen. I make words good sometimes. You can follow me on the Twitter, where I will delete tweets that I have misspelled words in because I am that sort of person. You can also listen to me on the D&D podcast, There Be Dragons, found where all good and bad podcasts can be found on the great, wonderful internet. Alternatively, you can follow my burlesque gold ego, Miss Lola Moore, over on the Instagram. I'm doing some stuff with that in June. Should check it out.
Awesome.
Bye.
Daria.
My name is Daria. I'm an artist. I do art sometimes. You might see some interesting stuff on this channel pretty soon. Oh, wink, wink. And other than that, I'm here on Thursdays. Love you.
Awesome. And Madame Monsieur, Dharma under Heron of Beings of Indeterminate Gender and Persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D, normally in the Humblewood setting, but sometimes I do other stuff. I've got a game that I really want to play soon. It's called Major Magica, and I want to set it in the Avium, and I want to have it canon in the world, but using a different system. It is a system of mostly... It's D6s. It's a D6 based system, and it's a neat little one. I had a look at it on Tactics Tuesday, and I was like, I really want to try this. And it's all about wizards doing extra credit assignments,
Nice.
and becoming progressively more and more materially unstable as they
What's
become
the
more
name?
powerful. It's called Major Magica. And you can probably find it on itch.io. It's a neat little PDF, and I reckon I really want to try it. So that'll be the next One Shot Wednesday I want to try out. You can find me tomorrow morning over on Meeples and Dragons. You can find me tomorrow evening over on The Lore Right. You can find me on Saturday evening over on Meeples and Dragons as well. I am the herpes of the internet space at the moment, and I'll be back on Monday night with Karen for more Karen and Josh review. If you like my majestic voice but you think I can stand to turn the face down a bit, you can really check me out in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I played the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar und his little dragon Rosh. Splendid. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We should go and raid somebody, and Phoenix Iwaki is streaming. Let us drop a raid on Phoenix. The bloody champions over there, right there. That'll be cool. Throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Phoenix where you came from. Show them the love like we always do. Before we go, Karen, tell me about Ukraine.
Ukraine! You may have heard of it. It is a country in Europe, and it has an issue with the number of Russians that are currently hanging out in it. So, if you feel like you if you feel you're able and willing to donate some money to support them, you can do so via one of the links in chat. The first one is for the Emergency Action Appeal, straight up donation. Follow the link, pick your charity or not-for-profit that you would like to support. Or you can purchase the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth, which is a wonderful 38-page D&D booklet inspired by the Ukrainian area and the mythology of the region. It's wonderful. We played the one-shot over on our YouTube channel if you want to check it out. And the minimum donation to get a copy is £1, and that money goes to the British Red Cross Appeal for Ukraine.
Excellent. Let me just switch gear. I have placed in chat our raid message. Murder, you should try it. Julio switch gear. That will be our raid message when we arrive. So throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat and the words "Murder, you should try it" by Julio Switchgear. When we get to Phoenix, show them the love like we always do. We will be back tomorrow and Monday and all the other times. So yeah, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye. We